Yeah. Like, listen, this stuff's cool, but I like my ports. I don't care how hard they are to clean. I like being able to plug things into stuff. I opt in for wired headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like latency problems when I'm doing things. You know?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
What else was I going to say about it? Oh, getting rid of the home button too. People keep saying, "Oh, you'll get used to it," or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I've figured out all the new gestures that you have to do since there's no home button, and I still don't like it. I still would rather have a home button. Just one button.
I like buttons in general.
Because closing an app, you press the button. It's real fast. Now you have to like hold it and swipe to close an app. I'm like, oh, that's so much more clunky. Feels clunky.
Yeah, I hate this. This has, it has 4 buttons on it. I have no idea what this button does right here at the bottom. I think I've used it once. I don't know what it does. But I've got volume, and I've got my main button. That I guess is the equivalent of a home button. It turns it on, turns it off. Combinations of buttons do things, but it's like, I'm at the point that I'm thinking of, I think BlackBerry still makes them, where they've got the whole touchscreen now, but they have like all your buttons at the bottom like a BlackBerry's always had. And I'm thinking of just going back to BlackBerry, because I miss my buttons.
Interestingly, when I set up the facial recognition, which is what it uses to unlock instead of thumbprint, I set it up, I was wearing my glasses, and yet it still works when I'm not wearing my glasses. So I wonder if it works, if it sees any face. I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know.
But it works, so I'll give it that.
Photo editing software can now remove glasses from people's faces.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe facial recognition's just got that good. It's like, no. We could tell what your face looks like underneath that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess you can see all the same features on my face.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that sometimes there's a rim around my eyes and sometimes there's not.
And Bug says, to whoever stole my glasses, I will find you. I have contacts.
I just installed, oh, no, never mind. Cannot play the software yet. I just installed Pac-Man 99, which you can install on your Switch right now. But you can't play it yet. So.
The service is not live.
Yeah. Interestingly, so I did try, as you suggested, I tried running Mario 35, and it's annoying because it takes you all the way to the point where you can start a game, and when you start the game, it just says service not available.
Yeah, that's what I figured would happen.
But Pac-Man 99 won't let you open the app at all, the software. But it's supposed to be available today, so later today, I guess. It says, I'm looking at articles, it says Pac-Man 99 Battle Royale like Pac-Man game out for Nintendo Switch on April 7th. Today.
Yeah, I don't know why the service isn't running yet.
I don't know, but it looks awesome, and I'm much better at Pac-Man than I am at Super Mario Brothers.
See, I have the opposite. I am great at platformers. I've never invested that much time in maze runners like Pac-Man.
You know what they need to do? And it's interesting that you can get skins for it to change so that you look like Galaga and some other things. They need to do a Galaga 99. I am awesome at Galaga.
I'm pretty good at Galaga. That'd be fun.
I
love
freaking awesome.
bullet hell games. Which, I mean, that one's not quite a bullet hell, but it's the start of the curtain fire genre. And I just like games in that general field, you know, that's all good.
Yeah, most of the time if I'm like at an arcade or like there used to be a Mellow Mushroom near my house where they had a Galaga, I can put in a quarter and just go forever. Like I don't know how long I can actually go, because usually I end up having to like just leave it. I can't play a full game because I'm playing for like 20-30 minutes on one quarter, and finally like dinner's ready or something, and I'm like, all right, I guess I have to just leave it because I'm awesome at Galaga for some reason. Other games not so much, but for some reason Galaga's my game.
Yeah, I do like that they're making all these though. I said I like that they're making all of these type of games though, like Tetris, Mario, Pac-Man.
Yeah, I'm much better at Miss Pac-Man, so I'll be interested to see how good I am at the original Pac-Man, especially with people like throwing stuff back at me. Because it's definitely a battle royale game where I guess when you eat ghosts, it throws these ghost Pac-Men at you, and if you touch them, like, you slow down. And then there's like these other things, you can make a whole train of ghosts, and if you eat them with power pellet, you can eat like 20 of them at once. It's amazing. And then that shoots it out. Now, of course, it's not going to be, I don't know how hectic it's going to be, because unlike Mario 35, you're playing against 99 people or 98. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you played the Tetris one, but that one gets pretty hectic, and that's the same amount of people.
I haven't played the Tetris one, unfortunately. But it'll be interesting to see, because I never really did very well with Mario. Mostly just because I didn't play it that much, but I was never very good at Super Mario Brothers anyway, so I didn't feel like I had much of a chance.
Well, this is why I didn't play too much into the Tetris, because I think I'm shit at Tetris. I might have really high standards for myself, because I can beat 20 levels of Tetris, which I hear a lot of people have trouble getting to level 20. But I wouldn't consider myself like a competitive Tetris player or something. I don't really play a lot of Tetris, so I figure if I were to jump in there, I'd probably get my ass handed to me.
My problem with Tetris is I'm too addicted to making a Tetris, right? And I always leave one spot open and then don't get a long piece, and I get screwed. I'm good at, combining them together and making full rows, but I'm very bad at controlling my urge to leave one row open.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to be like, I need to clear this for the sake of clearing it so I can set something up later.
Yeah, so I feel like if I was doing it competitively, I'd end up getting screwed because I'd be waiting for that long piece that just would never come.
Now what we need is Puzzle League 99. I'd play that. Me and my brother used to play the shit out of Pokemon Puzzle League. That's a fun game. I like Puzzle League more than Tetris. I think that's a better puzzle game.
I gotta bring up the chat. I don't have the chat open. But I see GMT's here. Hi.
Yeah. They made a Nokia communicator. I'd have one in a heartbeat.
Buck says, was that announcement made on the 1st? What?
The Pac-Man
one?
No, I believe that was after April Fool's. It was like really recent.
I think it was announced yesterday.
Yeah.
Or yeah. When I only saw it today, and it said it's available today. I just saw it this morning for the first time.
Yeah, I think they waited as long as possible because they were trying to make sure that people didn't confuse it as an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Although I don't know why people would, because it's not that silly of a concept. So
yeah, well, especially after the other battle royales that have already been out.
Mm-hmm. Still don't understand why they got rid of Mario. I mean, there's still Tetris 99. Why can't they have Mario 35?
Well, you know, it would seem to be in bad taste after they publicly executed Mario.
Yeah. Gonna play Game with the Dead Man, I guess.
I mean, equally, why did they take the 3-pack, the 3D All-Stars off the eShop? That makes no sense, other than for scarcity.
And we were talking about that. I was like, man, if it weren't $60, I would have gotten it. If it had been 30, oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
And now they never have to worry about a price drop.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of all of that, have you seen this mod for the, I guess, PC version of Super Mario 64? This newest mod.
I've seen a mod a couple months ago that made it like Super HD. I don't know what you're talking about though.
No, this is more recent. Shoot, I don't have it up. Or do I? You know what? I bet you it's in my YouTube history because I was watching. Oh, so yeah, Pac-Man 99 announcement trailer dropped yesterday. It's on YouTube, which I can put the link if anyone wants to see it. If anyone wants to go to this after the show, of course.
Yeah. Don't leave the show to go watch things. We're more important.
Right. Just copy that link for later. Here we go. Super Mario 64 Plus. Now this dropped only 3 days ago, so it's brand new. I'll put this in the chat too. Super Mario 64 Plus.
Because I do have the compiled PC port.
Yeah, so this is for that, I believe. And it is, I'm trying to see what all it does. So, I mean, it basically fixes it. It's like, I don't understand why Nintendo wouldn't hire these people because they fixed Super Mario 64. More responsive controls, improved camera, extended move set. I'm not sure what all you can do. I do know one of them is from Super Mario Odyssey. You can like ground pound and then cancel it and leap ahead. I saw that in the trailer. Ability to continue a level after getting a star, extra modes, 60 FPS support, bug fixes. It's to me it looked like just the definitive edition of Super Mario 64.
But can I still hop backwards up the endless stairs?
I don't know.
That's the make or break for that game, I'm telling you. This is why the 3D All-Star version is the worst version of 64, because they took out the ability to hop backwards up the endless stairs.
Yeah. But this one looks awesome, and if you watch the video, it looks really nice and smooth. The camera weirdness is all fixed. The bugs are all fixed. It looks awesome. Now, there is a mod, so Buck says, let me know when it updates so Yoshi, Luigi, and Mario are playable. There is a mod, it may be a different mod, but I know that already exists. So you have to search for that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can use both these mods at the same time.
I don't know. I'd have to check the video to see if it is a pre-compiled mod or not. The thing about this community, it's a true modding community. It's hard to find executions that are already compiled. You get the base game, you have to get the compiler, and you have to put all your mods in yourself and compile them into an executable file. That's how most modding communities work. Those mods may not be compatible with each other. Who knows? You might have to compile them in... If you're only trying 2, there's 2 orders you can try compiling them in to see which one works, but they may just not be compatible.
By the looks of it, this MFGG Mario Fan Games Galaxy gives you a launcher that allows you to, I guess, select mods, but then you just point to an existing ROM.
Okay.
So it gives you the launcher, and I guess it applies the mod. But if you have your own ROM, it should just be able, you should be able to point to it. So, a mod manager.
Yes, it is just a mod manager.
Yeah, but if you go to the link after the show, of course, that I just dropped in, there is a link in that trailer video. There's a link in the description to get the mod, if anybody's interested. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Looks very nice. I mean, 60 frames per second. And presumably full HD and everything.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some pretty good HD mods for that PC port. Like, I've seen some mods that make Odyssey look horrible by comparison. The problem is, because again, you have to like compile your mods or load it into a manager, finding all the pieces you need for that stuff, because whoever shows the videos will never give you a full list of everything that's in there.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of things that aren't released yet, different segue from Tetris 99. There's now a Diablo 2 Resurrected technical alpha sign-up to opt in. You're not guaranteed to get in, but there is a sign-up if you have a Blizzard account. And all you got to do is go to the link that I'm about to put in. It's link day.
I'm gonna move this.
Log in.
Let me move this onto the larger screen that I will be facing mostly. And you can see this unmade bed behind me.
So this is the Diablo 2 Resurrected Alpha opt-in, if you are interested in opting into the alpha. Your walls are very pink.
Yep, yes they are. You can tell even more from this angle.
Very cool.
Well, this is mostly a guest bedroom. That's well, because I'm facing like this kind of angle for the most part.
Oh.
So to the audience, it kind of just looks like I'm drifting off screen, you know, because I'll occasionally look back at my computer, but this is right here's where the chat is, and then that right there is where you are. So within this field of view, this is mostly where I'm facing.
Well, interestingly on Twitch, I'm looking, when I look over at the chat, it looks like I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah, it does.
And if I point to it, it looks like I'm pointing at the chat.
And for me, the chat's on the same side of the screen that it would be on Twitch.
Yeah. So I have it all set up.
Yeah.
So that's all
I'm looking slightly the opposite direction because I'm not. If I reversed my mirror and things were properly, and I was using like the way Discord mirrored it, I would be looking in the right direction. And it looks to us, we're just like facing in slightly opposite directions from each other. We got to, those ogres and stuff, they could attack from every side. You gotta be paying attention. Unless we get, like a faithful watchdog to look out for those ogres.
So what is Buck? It says, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, I sent you that video, didn't I?
What?
The 8-bit
Oh, yes.
D&D? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I said I needed all of the components to cast Mordecai's Faithful Watchdog. But you never said that you cast it, so now there's ogres!
Yeah, that's right. What was the guy constantly yelling from the...
Oh,
from
he was like their friend.
Can I
who was
get a
just
Mountain Dew?
Yeah. Where's the Mountain Dew? In the fridge!
Roll
Yeah,
to see
he's
if I'm
like-
getting drunk.
That's what he's like. I've got a +9 against ogres. You're not here. You're at the bar. Roll to see if I'm getting drunk. Oh, actually, I have sound effects. You are. Cool. Are there any girls there? So there are. I totally want to do them. And then you see like the girls walk back away. Yeah.
I'm casting magic missile.
What do you cast it on? There's nothing. I attack the darkness. That's an internet classic. Like that predates YouTube, but I think even that was re-uploaded probably like, I think that 2009 is when that video specifically went up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I could probably find the original back on like Newgrounds or something. It's probably still done in Flash.
Yeah. That looked like it was originally a Flash. So, other than that, I've been playing Final Fantasy 4.
I've been playing 12.
Nice.
Yeah. And god damn, I forgot there's one thing that pisses me off so much about Final Fantasy 12. The one thing that I hate about the game. Like, otherwise, I love it. It's one of my favorite games. But the way they do the chests in Final Fantasy 12, right? They don't do, like, any other Final Fantasy chests have fixed positions in a dungeon. Once you get the chest, the thing that was in it is gone. The same thing was always going to be in that chest, right? In 12, because it was modeled after Final Fantasy 11 and MMO, it has randomly spawning chests. The chests have positions. You don't know if they get rolled, whether they will spawn or not whenever you walk into a room or if you spend enough time wandering around. What is in the chest gets rolled when you walk into the room. And what could be in the chest will vary from, there's like an 80% chance it's just going to be money, some amount of money. What amount of money is a roll to? It'll go from like a possibility of 1 gil to up to even a couple hundred gil or something, right?
Mm.
And then there's like this 20% chance that it'll be an item. If it is an item, then there's a second roll that happens that will let you know what item it'll be. There's a great chance that it'll just be a knot of rust, which is like the worst item you could pick up from a chest in a game. It's almost like a pebble. It's like a really cheap attack item that you can use. A few other things, or for most chests, the rare thing it could drop is just a meteorite, which basically casts comment on people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in certain areas, there's something really, really stupidly valuable in that chest. And you can get this thing that is called the Diamond Armlet. And what the Diamond Armlet does is it rigs what's in the chest to a degree. There's still the roll whether it'll be gil or not. But what it does is if it is an item, it fixes it to where there's like a 90, somewhere to an 85 to 90% chance, varying from chest to chest, on whether it'll just be the least rare or a 5 to 10 chance that it'll be the most rare. Nothing in between. So it's still going to be hard for you to get the most rare item, but you won't be getting a bunch of like other random shit in between. So it basically fixes it to where it's only either going to be the Knot of Rust, or if, like me, you're trying to grind the Cerobi Step, like an Ultima weapon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it helps. It still makes it a fucking annoying thing to do, because you're running around this place for hours on end, and this is sped up 4 times too, mind you, but hours on end just grinding, trying to get drops from these randomly spawning chests. I have already spent 6 hours at the Cerobi Step, and I haven't gotten a single one of the rare drops. And the Cerobi Step has like 35 different chests that possibly have rare drops in them too. So it's the best place to be grinding, and I still haven't gotten a single rare drop from that after 6 hours. It's the one thing I fucking hate about this game. Because any other Final Fantasy, right? If you knew that this chest was going to have the ultimate weapon in it, you go to the chest and the ultimate weapon's in it. That's it. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
Never spawns again.
Yeah, that's weird. What is Bullet talking about? From a PS2 game?
Oh, I guess the D&D thing, I guess. I don't know. I just know if there's an older version of it, because it sounds like the audio was taken from something else. The only surviving version I know is the 8-bit D&D reenactment. But it does sound like they just animated over somebody else's audio.
Yeah. Well, I'm not up to Final Fantasy 12 yet.
Yeah.
Still have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10
Yeah.
to go. And 10 part 2. But I do agree with you. I'm close enough to being sick of Final Fantasy 4 that I'm not going to do the after years.
Yeah, I figured.
I may not do them at all, but maybe eventually in a few years.
Yeah. Maybe after you actually get through all the other Final Fantasies, you're like, okay, there's been enough of a gap in between. I'll do it now.
Yeah. Interestingly, they've added so much to this one that I'm not going to get around to doing. I'm just not. There's just like so many side quests and stuff. Like there's a side quest to get a special augment. I think it's the piercing, the magic piercing augment that basically causes it so that reflect doesn't work against your magic.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's a very long side quest to get that. So I looked it up.
The thing is, they added a bunch of stuff, but they also took away things that other versions of the games that added in. Like it doesn't have the Lunar Trials, the bonus dungeon at the end of the game.
It did have. There was an optional dungeon. Oh, the dungeon to get Bahamut.
Yeah. That's in the original
and
game.
Yeah, I did do that. So I've got the Bahamut.
You just start mega flaring.
And I've got the HP the MP plus 50% augment. So I gave that to Rydia, so she can just summon all day long. And then there's also an HP 50% plus. So helpful.
Let's see, what you need is a Final Fantasy 12 bubble belt.
Okay.
Yep. I think I've explained what this does before. In 12, there is a spell called Bubble. Usually I just have it auto-cast on my, it's the first gambit. If Bubble is not a status on one of your party members, automatically cast it to them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what Bubble does is it doubles your maximum health pool while it's active. So what you do is there's a belt that you can get from the bazaar after doing so many things called the Bubble Belt. So you equip that to your people and you always have Bubble active at all times, and that's how you get up to like the maximum health you can get in the game. Otherwise, because I think the max you can get otherwise is like close to 5,000, but if you have the Bubble Belt you can get like the 9999.
That's cool. So did you find anything else out about what's going on?
What's
Since you
going
got
on
that.
in the world? Yeah, I got a few things. We could talk about things that aren't Final Fantasy. Sure, everybody's sick to death of that, even though we've been gone for, I don't know, a week. But,
There's news about Twitch, but I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about Twitch being assholes again?
Yeah.
Yeah. People are now thinking of banning users that have serious off-platform conduct and harassment issues.
And you know what bugs me is that they mix very reasonable stuff with very ridiculous stuff.
Yes. Like what's so serious?
What's that?
Like mixing the reasonable and unreasonable is like, what is so serious? What is their definition of serious, right?
Yeah, like, okay, they say deadly violence and violent extremism. Okay, you could get banned for that, even if it's not.
Maybe you don't even have to worry about banning the person. They should probably just be in prison.
Probably, yeah. But terrorist activities or recruiting. Here's one: explicit and/or credible threats against Twitch, including Twitch staff. Okay.
I could get that. Yeah.
It would also probably should be investigated by the authorities.
Yeah.
In that case, threats of mass violence, blah blah blah. But then leadership or membership in a known hate group, and I'm like, known
Define
by whom?
hate group.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I said. What is a hate group exactly? Because is Comicsgate a hate group? Some people think so. No normal person thinks so, but this is Twitch
Well,
we're
some
talking
normal
about.
people might think so because normies don't know what things are, and they might have been told it's a hate group.
Yeah.
That's actually the problem with most of this stuff.
And then they say like actions that would directly compromise the physical safety of the Twitch community. Sometimes they say words are violence.
Yeah.
So are mean words on Twitter considered compromising safety? Marsupial screwed. He's in a hate group. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Vomitorium.
Yeah, well, we're definitely a hate group. We hate a lot of things. Mostly just shitty games, but,
Yeah. What if you're in the Proud Boys, which in my opinion is not a hate group?
Oh, well, if you actually knew anything about them, I don't know how anybody could have the opinion that they were.
Yeah, exactly. Bullet says words are violence. So it's like, okay, we're going to, and they mix it in, like there's no, they're like serious violations off platform and there's no order to it. It's just like actual serious thing, deadly violence. Actual serious thing, terrorist activities. Membership in a hate group. We don't even know what that means. Carrying out sexual assault. Okay, that's pretty serious. Sexual
everything except for that are things that are crimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, there's stuff that are totally crimes and you probably should be in jail, in which case I don't know how you're going to be live streaming on Twitch anyway, mixed in with stuff that like is basically like mean words and hurt fifis.
I don't know. Because like, let's say our Reformation system is functioning the way that it should, right? You go to some type of penitentiary, you get out. We're assuming you've been rehabilitated into society. Would you get your ability to stream on Twitch back? Because it's really weird that known felons are people who just get banned from society even once they return to it. That doesn't seem like acknowledgement that our system's not working. Because otherwise you think, okay, you could go and be a productive member of society now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have an example. A person I know, a friend, actually robbed banks in the 80s. He was sentenced and convicted to multiple felonies, served time, got out, never did it again, and has a job. But he's a felon. Yeah. I imagine he wouldn't be able to stream on Twitch or something.
Or I know a guy who, God, what is his name? I wouldn't want to say his last name anyway. I'm just trying to remember what his first name is for the sake of conversation. It's been a while since I talked to him. It starts with an L. I used to meet him at Walmart all the time. That was the problem. You know, there's certain people that you know in society that you only know at one place because you run into them and you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
But he used to, Lewis, that was his name, right? And he used to be a repeat felon. He's been in and out of prison. One of the reasons he went back to prison is because he escaped from prison and got caught. But now he is a Jehovah's Witness. Like, late into his life, I know, but you know, it's whatever reforms your life, you know, stops you from being bad, and you start actually helping society out. It's better than the alternative when you think about it.
Well, as long as he's not a criminal, I guess.
Yeah, that's
not
what
great,
I'm thinking, right? He's a nice guy, too. I like the guy.
Yeah. Not great that he's in a cult, but okay.
Yeah.
At least it's a non-violent cult.
Yeah. He's not even, like, part of the outreach for, like, trying to get new people. He's more of just, like, volunteer work and stuff like that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
And he's a great guy. But he was in and out of prison for, I think he said, 17 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
And he's totally reformed. And he can get jobs because he's in the Jehovah's Witness. They can get him things to work on. But sometimes if you're not in some type of religion, it can be hard being a felon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, my friend, his name is Jimmy. Yeah. He never used a weapon, ever, when he was robbing banks. And it's funny to say, but he actually did, and he served time. And then he ended up getting a job as a mechanic, and he's been 100% straight. And I don't know if he might have been working like for his brother or something like that. It might have been like a family business, but yeah, I managed to get a job and has been 100% clean living ever since then. Learned his lesson.
Always robbing banks.
Yeah, I guess he was. Well, I mean, he was probably in his 20s.
Yeah.
At the time, but. The topic is bank robbery. No. The topic is
fuck Twitch.
What's that?
I said the topic is fuck Twitch.
Yeah, exactly. The topic is Twitch's weird rules. And, you know, here's the thing. If it would all seem perfectly okay if we didn't already know they're not going to apply these rules evenly.
Yeah.
They're going to have bizarre, unfair definitions of what a hate group is, and the fact that they mix in like actual like illegal felonies and crimes against society like terrorism, and they mix that in with.
Well, you know what this reminds me of is when Patreon banned Carl Sargon of Akkad Benjamin for something he did, not even on his own channel that was what was connected to Patreon, but on somebody else's stream.
Mm-hmm.
Where, at the moment, he was actually insulting white nationalists, so you think that would make people happy.
Mm-hmm. You're going to consider VTubers a hate group to help out their Twitch thoughts.
You know, that actually would not surprise me. Luckily, most VTubers are on YouTube, which I know that sounds strange to say luckily, but YouTube seems to be slightly saner than Twitch. Just very, very slightly.
Amazingly. Yeah. Well, what's funny is, you know, like last week, Jeremy the Quartering apparently had a conference call with YouTube, and he came away from it all very positive and saying, yeah, okay, they're, you know, at least now I understand, like, there are different rules for larger creators, like not, you know, not being too, you know, not punching down too hard on smaller creators unless it's like a serious issue. But then like a few days later, Red Letter Media comes out and like starts attacking, I can't even remember who, some smaller creator, and nothing happens to them. And it's like, okay, so that was all just bullshit. They were blowing smoke up his ass. But you're right. It's weird. It's like, yeah, YouTube's a little better than Twitch. It's amazing how there's certain creators who haven't gotten banned from YouTube who you'd almost expect to.
Yeah.
And then others that got banned and you're like, why? It doesn't make sense.
Well, like, actually, it's like really, really hard to get banned from YouTube. What they'll do instead is they'll just make you not want to be there. Right? Like, they will make it to where it's impossible to be monetized. They'll shadow ban to where you don't show up in people's sub boxes and stuff. Like, they'll still let you exist, but they'll just make it your existence so frustrating that you don't want to be there anymore.
Yeah. But why did they got rid of Doug Tenaple's channels?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to get banned too. That's why I'm surprised.
I know. What did he do? Yeah, I don't even remember who it was. I'd have to look up who Red Letter Media. It was like last week. I don't know, but shoot, I totally lost my train of thought.
Will Twitch judge me on my opinions of space opera movies? Well, apparently hating Star Wars makes you part of a hate group, so...
Yeah, there you go.
They say hating the sequels is a gateway to the alt-right.
Mm-hmm. But like they haven't banned, that Star Wars girl or who else is in that, like Geeks and Gamers yet.
Yeah.
It might have been, did Red Letter Media attack Geeks and Gamers? I don't remember. Drunk 3PO and all that. They haven't banned them yet.
See, if we ever get banned on Twitch, I'm going to put a banner on the overlay that says banned on Twitch. I'm going to wear it like a proud symbol.
See, I haven't heard of a lot of high-profile Twitch bans lately either.
I haven't either.
So, I don't know if they're calming down or if they've, gearing up for a new...
Well, here's my other problem with some of these other ones too, right? So, this seems to qualify just accusations. They don't wait for any type of criminal case to happen. So, like, when it talks about the sexual exploitation of children, such as grooming, or also acts of, like, sexual violence, they will ban you on just an accusation. They won't wait for a court case to happen to see, like, if you even did what people are accusing you of doing. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. Because those are bad things. But again, if they happen, maybe the person should be in jail.
Yeah, I don't even know child grooming. I don't even know what that definition of that is. To me, it seems lately it's like talking to a 17-year-old and then maybe having sex with her when she turns 18. Yeah. Is that grooming?
Who knows?
It's 100
right?
people. That's
in most
behavior.
states, it would have been legal to do it even at the 17. Like a state I'm in, the age of consent 17.
Yeah. So, I don't know. The whole grooming thing is very
now, if they like you're talking to a 14-year-old and you ask for nudes, that definitely I would qualify that as child grooming, right?
Well, I qualify that as actually illegal child exploitation.
Oh, well, that too, but if you're it is exploitation, but it's also grooming because you're trying to get more out of them. Okay. Right. It's both illegal things. But yeah, it's already illegal.
And it should be. It means don't do that. Don't do what? I don't even know what I'm not supposed to do. That's the problem.
Just that.
Well, to be safe, I tend to not talk to minors at all anyway.
I was actually just shocked looking at GMT that in Wales it is as high as 16.
Well, at least he's not in New Zealand, where it doesn't even have to be human.
Well, I mean, you know what they say about the Celtic people, especially Scotland.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not even allowed to talk about it without creeps like Bullet just like making assumptions.
Yeah. Yeah, the sheep are pretty rough at 16. That's what I was alluding to.
Yeah. Because like, okay, so I can't even talk about it. Can't even talk about it because then you're just gonna be accused. Oh, what are you doing? None of the
There's certain
above. That I'm
countries in
talking
Europe
about.
where is it up to 16 now? Because I heard it got higher, but it used to be like 14 in a lot of places, which I think is a little young, to be honest. I think whatever your qualification of no longer a minor in the state should be the same, because it's less about any like biological reason and more about autonomy, right? Once you're an adult, you should be able to do what you want to do, as long as you're not harming anybody.
Right. But people call it, grooming and exploitation, all that stuff, when they're talking about like a 20-year-old woman. And I'm like,
yeah,
no,
like
an
what?
Yeah.
I mean, you technically you could groom an adult, but it's hard. It would be hard to do anything legal about that. Like actually qualify it under something. It's coercion.
Yeah, I think that's called like wooing or courting.
Courting, yeah.
Courting. Not coercing. Timothy says he will arrive in the Chris Hansen mobile to fight evil. GMT had to do a report on it. On sheep or people under 16? Anyway. Don't trust Twitch any farther than I can throw them, but, what are you going to do?
I don't even know how you would throw them. They're just a bunch of servers.
They're a private company. They can do whatever they want.
Except get thrown.
Right. Well, they wouldn't want to be thrown.
Because Twitch is probably... it's both centralized and decentralized. It's centralized data, but it's across like Amazon's AWS servers, right? So you wouldn't even know which server to pick up. You'd have to just toss the whole building.
I wouldn't recommend that. Not with back problems people have these days. I wouldn't recommend tossing buildings.
If I could, though, maybe I would.
There are people who consider being asked for a date as a rape threat. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Bullet. That's what I like about it is that, I keep getting older and they stay the same age. Take that out of context.
They'll just think you're quoting, what was it, Matthew McConaughey?
That's right. All right. Just read the people again. It's 12 in South Africa. Jesus.
Ooh.
Edgar
they're
Allan,
hitting puberty. It's fine.
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe married a 13-year-old.
Yeah. In the past, it was more acceptable.
Don't make me date you. So who knows what my Twitter quote was from? You have a blind date with Destiny, and it looks like she's ordered the lobster.
That sounds familiar, but I don't think I know what that's from.
It's from Mystery Men.
I love Mystery Men, but I have not seen that thing in years.
It's on Netflix. I was watching it earlier today.
Oh my god, I might watch it later today.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good one. It's back when Janine Garofalo was actually funny.
Jordan Peterson. Just because you mentioned lobster, that's why. Oh. Man, somebody should actually tell him about that quote, because I doubt he's ever seen that movie. He'd probably like it.
Timothy, quote the Raven, gross. That's right. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe.
Well, I guess we could talk about some more cringy stuff involving video games. Have you heard about the Department of the State's new diplomacy program involving video games?
You mean the State Department? The State Department?
Yes, the State Department, also known as the Department of State. That's what it says on their banner.
Okay.
Yeah. The United States of America now has a diplomacy program involving video games. Because why not? You know, anytime that the State Department's involved in something, it's probably because it's related to propaganda.
Oh, lovely. It shows a picture of an eagle holding a controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this new policy is basically trying to reach out to people in other countries through the act of video games. I don't know why they're specifically trying to say that the video games are American culture. And they listed, like, their justifications, like, you know, American culture is spread all over the world. If I'm not wrong, video games are primarily an international thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pinball, yes, if you want to go all the way back to pinball as American culture. But much as what we see video games is kind of Japanese culture.
Well,
British
yeah.
for going all the way back.
I mean, early video game development was really mostly in the U.S., wasn't it? Maybe in some.
It was mixed. If we're talking about after the very first video game ever invented, which was tic-tac-toe on a submarine, then yes, you could. Pong, I believe, is an American invention and stuff like that.
But yeah, America and Japan. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it, say, a primarily American thing. It's kind of, it's always been international.
Yeah. Maybe not so much in the third world.
Yeah, yeah. But at least within, like, Western countries, even Europe adapted to it, like, really quickly after it came out. They just didn't get it was mostly on computers. They didn't get a lot of the Nintendo and stuff like that quite as early as everybody else did. That's why they didn't really know Final Fantasy so much until, say, 7 was, like, the first real Final Fantasy game they got. But it's not like, you know, Europe was devoid of video games.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was watching a thing about the Final Fantasy. Speaking of Final Fantasy, about the, you know, why they didn't bring some of the games over, and it had less to do. It didn't have to do with, like, they didn't think the American market would like it so much as they were just so late. It took them so long to bring over the first one that, like, in Japan, they were already up to the fourth or fifth one.
Yeah.
And the first one came out so close to the end of the NES's life cycle that they were like, let's just go to the SNES one.
Yeah. But they also always looked down at American gamers, which is why when they did finally get to the SNES version, which they called 2 here, it was what they later dubbed Easy Type in other countries when they reported it, right? They even actually have the American port ported back over to Japan, labeled Easy Type, so you could get both versions of the game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so, anyway, you know, there's a mixture of different things, but
anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so they, you know, they're talking about, you know, American. This is all part of the politicking of it, right? Saying these things, bringing everything over, and the program's going to start by engaging 2,700 students in the U.S., Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, in a virtual student exchange program centered on the development and creation of social impact video games, which is when I'm getting to the propaganda point. Because you cannot look at the word social impact video games and not think that it is some form of propaganda.
Mm-hmm. Now, if they're talking about the Middle East, I can totally get if you know, because that's one of the worst places in terms of civil rights for, like, women and minorities. Of course, their minorities are, like, Christians.
That is the worst part for civil rights in general, right? Because it's not even that, like, men have civil rights. It's some men have civil rights, and then everybody else is kind of like, eh.
Yeah. Bullet says the Ninja Gaiden series was made harder here.
Oh, wow. On purpose or by accident? Oh, because they were considered too easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Random cursor. There's a cursor by my head.
Oh yeah. That's because I have my cursor on my screen for reading the article, and that it's on the same screen that
Yeah.
the Discord video is. It's just hitting underneath my browser. Here we go.
So yeah, it says 75. Did you say 7,500? Because this says 75,000.
75,000. No, I said 2,700 students. Is what it says to seek. This is what the start of the project's going to be.
Oh, okay. But it says there's grants reaching out to 75,000 people in 18 countries.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess.
This is just the start of the project with the nonprofit Games for Change.
Yeah.
Obviously yeah. It's going to be a game creation thing because it's related to STEM. Game creation is a form of, I guess what engineering is what that would fall under, or technology, T. It's somewhere between the two.
Engineering as well.
Yeah. The T and
Man,
the E.
Back when I had a game engine, I wish I'd gotten in on a grant like that.
Mm-hmm.
My engine was great for making mobile games.
And I think it would be a nice thing. Reaching out to some of these countries that don't have, say, big engineering and technology programs in general, because a lot of people come over here for that. But it's that social impact part that is really getting me. And I don't trust the government. I trust the government less than I trust Twitch. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not. And I don't trust Twitch, like, at all.
Yeah, are they gonna have all these people make the next Depression Quest or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It even says in
train
here
75. Yeah, 75,000 Zoe Quins.
It's a medium that's universal. Much like other forms of media, games can address important social topics and meet people where they are.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like social topics in my video games. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no. That's why I like Pac-Man and Galaga.
Maybe if the world in the game has their own social problems, I want to hear about them. But I want things that are, like, isolated to themselves. I don't want something talking about the real world. I'm playing a game. The real world can go fuck itself while I'm playing this game.
Yeah. Well, and, like, again, it's like these things used to be normal.
Yeah.
You could say, well, video games have tackled social problems, but yeah, for forever. But yeah, but like in the 80s and 90s, social problems were like actual problems, not made up imaginary things in the heads of Twitter weirdos.
Well,
fake.
Until Dare gets involved.
What? Blue hair?
No, Dare. Remember the drug campaign that invaded video games too? I mean, are drugs a problem? Yeah. The war on drugs was a bigger problem than the drugs ever were.
There you go, GMT. Pac-Man was about sitting in a dark room munching pills, listening to repetitive electronic music. Yeah, but was it saying that was bad or?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you had to face your demons.
Yeah.
In a very, very almost literal sense. These ghosts flying around.
Mm-hmm. And when you eat them, all that's left are their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullet says you can address social topics, politics, etc., as long as it's adding to the world building and factors in the story, but you don't beat people over the head with them. Yeah. I mean, it's no secret, I'm a big Ultima fan. And, Ultima 4, one of the earliest games dealing with actual ethics, being ethical. And then Ultima 5 tackled what happens when you go overboard and force people to be ethical. which was very interesting.
Yeah.
Like things like you will give to charity, or we will take all your money. You will be, honest, or we'll cut off your hand, and that sort of thing.
A $200 million Pac-Man movie?
How much did pixels cost to make it?
I don't know, like $3.
There's some cool graphics, sort of. Well, I guess we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
I guess that's where our tax money's going.
Yeah, that's the most depressing part. Because ultimately, we don't ever have to play these games. We don't have to buy them. It's not like they're going to be forced down our throats, but anything we spend in any... Because the State Department, they get money from everywhere. Even your, sales tax goes to the State's Department. They'll draw... There's no way you can avoid paying for this stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So we are being forced to buy it. We just can't play them.
Yeah, yeah. I hate this stuff.
On the other hand, is the government making... Who is making that game that everybody's all upset about? The Five Nights in Fallujah or whatever it's called?
I don't know. I haven't heard of this. Why is everybody complaining about this thing?
You haven't heard about it?
No.
Oh, it's kind of like a Call of Duty game, but it actually takes place in Fallujah. And Twitter's been going nuts about it for a couple of weeks now. I forget what it's actually called, but I don't know who made it. I think it was. How do you spell Fallujah?
I don't know.
6 days in Fallujah. That's it. 6 days in Fallujah. Okay, Highwire Games, Atomic Games, coming out for PlayStation 4 and 5, and all this stuff.
Oh, well, it says they're going nuts because it's an old game that was canned years back, and they decided to restart development.
Yeah, okay. It's being released Q4 2021. So I think Five Nights in Fallujah would be better. It could be like, a jump scare game.
Yeah.
Only, instead of animatronics, it's, actual terrorists jumping out at you in the pizzeria. But yeah, I mean...
Well, you don't want to get a pizzeria involved in the modern day. Because people are going to assume something else about it politically.
But yeah, people are just complaining that it's going to cause violence and stuff like that, and it's going to cause hatred against Middle Easterners or something. But I guess it's not a government-sponsored game. I thought maybe it was, but no. Highwire Games.
I think it was outsourced from another company, but wasn't that there was that one military game that was originally being developed to help with training? Is it America's Army or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. That was actually a good game, though. Because you only get, one life every match you go into. Try to make it realistic.
Yeah. Have you ever played Pac-Man 360? I think it's called 360. No, Pac-Man 256.
That doesn't ring a bell, so I probably haven't.
It's a mobile game. It's like a continuous maze that scrolls upward, diagonally, and just you're constantly avoiding ghosts and stuff, and you're trying to get 256 dots in a row. It's hard because if you turn and pause, go a different direction, it starts all over at one. But as you get more and more in a row, the ghosts get faster and the thing starts scrolling faster. there's all these upgrades that you can get. It's a cool game.
Hmm.
Pac-Man 256.
Pac-Man World? Yeah, I liked Pac-Man World. Those were fun games.
See, Bullet knows what I'm talking about. Made by the Crossy Road. Yeah, it's like one of those pixel games, like where the characters are like in 3-dimensional pixels. It looks like.
But it sounds like just like the Pac-Man equivalent of like one of those Temple Run games.
Kind of. Yeah. You can go in different directions. You can go backwards, but there's like this constant glitching thing that's coming after you. So if you don't go forward fast enough, it'll catch you. Yeah.
That's death. Just creeping
like
towards you slowly.
That's right. The glitch is coming after you. Top down 3/4 perspective. Yeah. I might not be describing it well enough, but remember that game where one person played as Pac-Man and other people could play as ghosts? Was that like Pac-World? Multiplayer Pac-Man?
I don't remember.
Or was that there was a Nintendo like party
I don't
game.
think I ever played that mode.
Yeah, I feel like I know what, maybe if something on the GameCube, maybe. Sounds familiar.
There was a fun game like that on the Wii U. It wasn't Pac-Man, but it worked similar to that. Was it the opposite way? It was the other way around. And it was in the Nintendo Land, right? There was the Luigi's Mansion type game. And you were like trying to get the ghosts, and like one person would be the like hunters, and the ghost would go around trying to get you.
Yeah, and you had like a flashlight, right?
Yeah. And
so
you were all trying to get them.
Find the invisible ghosts with the flashlight, and you win or whatever. I used to play a lot of those Nintendo Land games with my son. He liked them.
Yeah, they're really cool. I used to play them at parties, but you kind of just like you stop getting together with people, and you drop the games if you're the only one playing, because there were only like a couple single player only games that were fun.
Pandemics have a negative effect on that as well.
Well, even at the beginning of the people not owning Wii U's had a big effect on that. Like one person would have the Wii U, so if people go over to that place, you'd play it. You go anywhere else, and it's like, I can bring my disc with me, but you don't have a Wii U. What do you want me to unplug it from my entire system? Carry my whole Wii U over here?
Yeah.
The Switch, on the other hand, everybody's got a dock. You could just bring your Switch over and put it down in somebody else's dock.
Hey, Pickles is here. Guess what? Vestry 2, issue 2 has launched on Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
And apparently the Indiegogo one is shipping. I haven't received mine yet.
Yeah. Did I back the 2? I know I wanted to. I just don't remember if I did, or if because of funds I was waiting for the Kickstarter. I need to actually check. Let's see.
It is live on Kickstarter
because I got the first one. I definitely want the sequel.
Who is
How many
Mr.
stairs does it have? That's a good question. Pickles, answer this question. How many stairs does Vestry 2 have?
See, he didn't seem to get it when I said, "Where's my stairs book?"
Yeah.
What?
No, I didn't get it on Indiegogo. I think the funds just didn't line up. I'm gonna have to go and pick it up on the Kickstarter version.
Yes, you will. You do.
Yeah,
definitely need to. I'm linking to the Vomitorium in the Dillard live streams chat because people don't seem to.
Yeah, like I have the money for it now. Gotta make sure you get it while I still have the money.
There are no stairs. Oh man. I need real stair-based data, says Bullet. There's 0. GMT says it has a preview for Vestry 3 with at least 700,000 stairs, though.
That's a lot of stairs. And yet somehow it still doesn't feel like enough.
Might have to get like all the variants of that one. Just rub them all over me. Stairs. Shabby forgot where he came from.
Or what we come for.
Hey, Rebellious, how's it going? She says that you're bald. I don't think you're bald. I think your hair is just very light.
Yeah. I shaved my head, but like I could feel the fluff up here. But
you are bald.
I'm functionally bald. There is hair there. It's just like that tiny.
Somehow I didn't notice.
Yeah, because I have very light hair. It's hard to notice.
Oh my gosh, you totally are.
Yeah, I went off and I finally got a new razor, so I can.
Okay.
I don't like having hair. Okay, it's annoying.
I understand. I need to get a haircut myself.
Like, why would I pay for a haircut when a razor costs like under $40? That's many years worth of haircuts for under $40.
Indeed. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Twitch is going to ban you for being in a hate group, but okay.
Hating spending money on haircuts? I mean, if that's worth a ban.
Sorry, Pickles is in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. We can pull him in. Let me get him.
Thanks for pointing that out. It is, you are right in front of my face, but I didn't notice until you said so.
I've got so many screens up that I can't tell unless somebody points it out to me.
Hello.
Howdy.
How's it going?
It's going okay. Did a little update on Vestry on the Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
About
today did it launch today?
No, just the situation. Because as Marsupial said, he's not got his book, so I had to ask our distributor about that. Basically, our distributor ran out of Geminis, and it's caused a delay in some books.
I wasn't complaining.
Specifically,
I
just his
they
book.
started shipping.
Yeah, I did an update last month that they were shipping.
Oh, okay.
Because if you happen to be one short, it should just be everyone but Marsupial's book.
But yeah, after Marsupial's comment, I was like, oh, it's just probably a little delay or something, like a long shipment or something. Then I got another email through Indiegogo asking where theirs was. So I was like, okay, there's probably something going. Something's wrong. So I messaged our distributor, and it's mainly because of a Gemini situation.
Oh, and they didn't tell you?
I don't think so, but you know, at the end of the day, it's our responsibility. Your mine is shabby, so it's our fault.
Yeah.
I'm over on the other side of the room trying to find mine.
But there are, if there is some still shipping, then there should be a tracking number sent through an email through stamps.com if people want to look through their inboxes for that.
There's a tracking number that we should have already gotten.
There's a tracking number that got basically the ones that have been shipped and have not been delayed. There was a tracking number through the labels, and when they got shipped, an email should have been sent through stamps.com of their tracking number.
Okay, so if mine hasn't shipped yet, then I won't have gotten that.
Yeah, if you don't have your tracking number through stamps.com in your email, then your book is probably the one that's delayed.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna check. I get so many emails, I don't always see them. So, but I definitely would have seen it if it had come in the mailbox.
So I can only apologize for all that.
You can apologize to everyone, but don't apologize to Marsupial.
I apologize to everyone that's informed me that they've not got those yet. Theirs yet. Apart from Marsupial, I don't apologize.
Yeah, no, the only... Okay, so I got the notification today. Oh, you just sent this. Come to my attention, some of you have not received your books. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for the update.
Well, if anybody should apologize, it's the person who got an update and didn't check it.
Well, this got here while we were doing the show 45 minutes ago.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I wasn't checking my...
45 minutes ago is when I got the info from the distributor. It was quick in responding to it.
I don't believe I've gotten anything else from Stamps.com, but I will keep an eye out for it.
I will say though, my distributor has said that the ones that have been delayed are being shipped on Saturday. That's
No,
what
GMT,
that's what
I
my
got your
distributor
joke.
said.
We were just in the middle of a conversation.
Sorry for butting in, by the way.
Oh, that's fine.
You're welcome anytime.
Hope you two are doing very well.
Sorry, what's doing well?
I said I hope you two are doing very well.
Oh, thanks.
I'm doing all right. I could be better. I'm already doing better now that I'm not stuck in that car with my family anymore. I just had a road trip across the country.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you were driving.
How many miles is it for a road trip across the country?
Well, it wasn't fully across the country. We went up to the general Chicago area and back down to the general DFW area, or Dallas. So, I don't know how many miles that is. A couple hundred or so? Let's see. Let me find this out.
If you were going to drive, let's see, you talking about like New York to LA?
Yeah, that's a long trip.
Since Pickles is not in the U.S., just to let you know, that is a 2,800 mile or 42-hour drive.
Yeah, mine was only
wow.
like 800 miles. That's all I went. 800 miles
Cross,
back.
and cross country for me is like 280 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metal's trip was short, only 800.
Yep. Only 800. 800 and like 20 and change.
That you were going close to Chicago? Is that right?
Paris, Illinois. So, not actually. It's like about the same height, opposite side of the state.
Here, I'm going to put this in the chat since I've been on
Same,
link duty. I'm going to put
what's it called?
Vestry.
Latitude. That's what I'm looking for. Same latitude, opposite side of the state.
There's a link to Vestry #2 on Kickstarter.
GMT, so you found out I was cheating on this chat with Twitter. Yes, I did.
And if people want to know, it's Matthew Weldon that did the cover for our Kickstarter.
Cool. Now, can you get the other covers?
You
Or
can
this
get
is
the
the
map.
only
You can get in 1-2 we offer issues 1 and 2. So the issues 1 and 2 are both Matthew Weldon covers.
Ah,
We need to have that on movie night. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, GMT. We haven't watched Cannonball Run on any of the movie nights. You've never seen Cannonball Run?
No.
Oh my gosh, such a good movie. It's a coast-to-coast race.
Is it Cannonballs?
No, it's just the name of the run. It's a great movie.
it's about a cross-country race, right?
Yeah, from coast to coast. The Cannonball Run, it was
Right.
1981. It's got a lot of people at Burt Reynolds, Don DeLuise, Jackie Chan, Dean Martin. It is a phenomenal comedy.
Is it like wacky races?
Kind of. Kind of, yeah.
But there's like a contest, right? I don't know if I've seen it actually.
You haven't seen it? What?
I've seen parts of it.
Because it's a U.S. Hong Kong movie, right? So it's got a lot of that like Hong Kong cinema cheesiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing about the pandemic is the record got broken 3 or 4 times. Wow.
What record?
Well, people actually run it like an actual race. The Cannonball Run is just going from coast to coast. And the record right now is, 24 and a half hours to get from one coast to the other.
Yeah, I guess with all the lack of traffic,
Yeah.
it was easy to set new records. You're right. Cannonball Run Challenge. I didn't realize it was a real thing.
Yep. But we should watch the movie sometime.
It says in May of last year, wow, you're right. It was broken the record was broken 3 times last year. April, May, and June. Although the June one, it says 25 hours and 55 minutes. What are we listening to? It sounds like
music.
Fiddler on the Roof version of Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, it's the Phantom Train.
Actually, no, that didn't break the record. I don't know what the record is. Not important. 25 hours, 39 minutes is the record.
Yeah.
And
So the movie was based off of
4,500.
true stories because the original Cannonball Run was a set of unsanctioned races. Technically illegal, but people did it anyway. That took place in the 70s, and it goes from New York City through Connecticut. I think one of them started in Connecticut, and then it ended up going through New York. But the official start is New York City, and it goes all the way to Redondo Beach, California. Or Redondo Beach, California. And this took place in the 70s. And in 1981, they made a movie about those races, but it was a comedy. And a lot of people still do the run as a challenge. And it was originally called the Cannonball Baker Sea to Shiny Sea Memorial Trophy Dash. But now they just call it the Cannonball Run.
So Pickles, how do you pick the prices on these? Because it still seems too low to me.
Don't complain. His prices are great.
I remember telling someone our plans of what price, what our collection edition would be when it all comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, a trade paperback, which would be about 130 pages. I told him the price of that, which we expect to be around $20 or $30, and he was telling us like, "Why is it so cheap?" But
would that be for a physical version?
Yeah. But basically, me and Shabby don't really get any money out of it. So that kind of explains the low prices. Like the money that we make tends to go towards Matthew Weldon.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem.
That's the pyramid
You should be
scheme.
making money.
Matthew Weldon is the one who's setting this whole thing up.
Weldon's the one at the top of the pyramid, I guess.
Mm.
He controls everything.
Well, that is a cool cover. I have to give you that. You guys need to charge more.
We hear that a lot. Which is
I wouldn't
when people
complain. I
want it
want you guys to
cheaper.
make money.
I mean, here's the other thing. Well, yeah, whatever. I mean, it's your business. I'm not going to criticize. I'm just saying, I would have paid more. I would have paid more.
I get everyone's argument of whether it should be cheaper or more expensive.
Mm-hmm. Has anybody told you it should be cheaper?
No, but I tell
Probably just
myself I
shabby.
want us to be cheaper.
Yeah, I got you. Well, it's a great deal if anyone out there is looking for a comic book. You have digital and physical.
No, that's just how he gets Shabby to make better art. He's like, Shabby, this stuff should be cheaper. I wouldn't pay for this.
Shabby, stop giving people 2 left feet.
Should it? Well, like I said, we're doing a trade paperback version once it's all done. You know, once all 5 issues are out.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be about $30 maybe, depending on printing costs.
Okay.
But we'll also be throwing in a collected edition of all the ash cans.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that would be
But, okay.
60 pages as well.
I got your solution here. You could even still make it cheaper if you want. What you need to do is just beg more. And because you can make donations directly to people, and you'd be like, hey, if you really like this and you want the artist and writer to eat, maybe donate some extra money directly to the campaign.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it'll
Actually,
definitely be.
I got a message on Kickstarter of this person saying, why don't you go on our website and pay us money so we promote you, and we'll give you
no.
$50 donation. I'm like, that's a scam.
It is a scam. I had, when I was
That's
running
a
a
very scam.
Kickstarter, I had like 50 of those come in. It was like, no thank you.
Definitely not. Well, cool. Well,
I
you guys
think
should.
I need to make my own run. That's what I need.
You need what?
My own run. Like the Cannonball
The
run.
metal
I
run.
need to host
Yeah.
my own. We'll call it the
From-
Orichalcum run.
Is it going to be from Dallas to where is it? Athens? No, wait.
The Paris? No. That because
Paris?
it's no distance. We got to make it crazy. It's going to be twice the length of the Cannonball run. It's going to be from New York to California to Florida. You have to go across the country twice at like a zigzag.
I was thinking like Nova Scotia, Canada, down to the southern tip of Chile.
That would be great. That's like the longest distance you could go.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, what was it? It was there was an external battery pack for one of Nintendo's handhelds. I can't remember what it was, but it was like an expansion battery, and it would apparently would last you that trip. That in Nintendo Power, that's what they said that battery would last if you did a non-stop in that direction. And I didn't believe them, but I thought that was an astounding metric to pick, was that it would take you from Nova Scotia, Canada down to the tip of Chile.
How long was it supposed to last? Like,
I don't know. I think
a
it was
week?
an expansion for the Game Boy Advance SP.
Mm-hmm.
So with how little battery that actually took, it was the back light or the front light, whatever it was, that actually took up the most battery power. I could see that happening. I could see a battery lasting that long if you were just to play it nonstop during that trip. But it still just seemed like an extreme. I don't know. That's a stretch. I don't believe that's actually going to last that long.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For those of you in England and Wales, Nova Scotia is the far northeastern tip above Maine in Canada.
And Chile is a country as south as you can go, still on the 2 continents.
Yeah.
Chile's a
they know.
food.
No, that's Chile, not Chile. Chile is spelt with an E at the end.
I was having an interesting discussion of what What was it? What things people would not want to have on their burgers with pickles?
Steak.
Or was it things that you would want on your burger?
I'd want steak on my burger. I said mustard, steak, pickles, I think.
Well, I've had steak
that's
burgers.
Right. Oh no, caramelized onions.
Ooh, yeah, it was good. Like what 4 things would you want on your burger or something like that. Now, a steak burger is different, right? Because a steak burger is just a steak ground up into a burger.
Yeah, but it's still steak meat.
Yeah, but what Pickles was talking about was different.
Like putting a whole steak on your burger?
Or steak on the burger.
I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't turn it down.
Chopped up steak on top of the burger.
You know, more meat. Can't complain.
Pixel Trader says, if bacon isn't on that list, you're basic. No, if bacon is on the list, you're basic. Everybody wants bacon on their burger. That's like the most basic thing you could put on it at this point.
I don't even like bacon on burgers.
I'm not a fan of it.
I love bacon burgers, especially from Five Guys.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with the caramelized onions for sure.
I like raw onions.
I do too. I like both.
I've never had Five Guys.
Onion rings. You ever had the onion rings on your burger? I mean, it was a funny joke, but yeah.
Yeah, I think at Sonic, I've had onion rings on a burger.
Onion rings are alright on a burger. I prefer it on a chicken burger rather than a beef burger.
Yeah, I think I've had that too. But then there was a, okay, Pixel says, how about an egg on a burger?
What's that say? It's a Prince something, right? There's a name for that. That's not an uncommon thing to order. My brother used to get that at Steak and Shake all the time.
Is it runny?
Or no, it's like a fried egg on it, or whatever. Like they just
hard fried or soft fried.
I think hard fried.
Okay,
it's pretty solid. They just put it on the burger.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a sunny side up. Just right on there too. Depends on how the place is serving.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like an egg with a runny yolk on a burger.
Yeah. But usually it's like hard. At Steak and Shake, it's a hard fried.
Yeah. I'd eat it. I'd eat that.
Yeah.
GMT says, Pickles, you could never be a game dev if you haven't had Five Guys.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know why.
I've got to work myself up. I've got to build up my endurance for Five Guys.
Well, how else are you going to get a good review if you can't be with Five Guys at once?
Five Guys has great Cajun fries. They're so good. Now then somebody else on Twitter said, what would you not want on your burger? But they left it completely open-ended. So I'm just like, I
think the list of things the list I would want is going to be a much more manageable and shorter list I could go through.
Yeah. I don't want a lamp on my burger. I don't want, I think I said motor oil.
I would want some lamb on my burger, though.
People have peanut butter on their burgers. I think that's disgusting.
I want a grilled cheese on my burger. I've had that. The Munchie Meals at Jack in the Box, they have one where it's like a double stack. So it's the burger underneath, and then on top, there's a grilled cheese, almost like another layer.
Like with the bread and everything?
Yeah. So it's like 3 layers of bread. Between the bottom layer, between the 2 pieces, is a whole burger, and then the top layer is a grilled cheese.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great, actually.
Pixel Trader says avocado. That sounds. I've had that on a burger. That sounds good.
Oh, he says on. Yeah. That's. Yep. No problem. I've had guacamole on there. That's avocado.
Yeah, avocado's but
well, do you want it raw or do you want it actually mixed in? That's the real question.
I want to try mashed potatoes on a beef burger.
I've seen it. It's not my thing, but there are people who do it. Let's just take everything that goes into a shepherd's pie and turn it into a sandwich.
As an Englishman, I do like a shepherd's pie.
Oh, I love shepherd's pie.
Is there lamb in shepherd's pie? Or is that
Minced beef.
Yeah.
beef?
Tends to
Which
be
you'd
like
think,
minced
though,
beef, carrots, onions.
Being a
all that
shepherd,
stuff.
lamb would be the thing that goes into it, but no, it's minced beef.
Yeah, how is that a shepherd's pie?
It's misleading at best.
Yeah.
Used mushrooms as a bun, like big portobello mushrooms? That sounds good.
Oh, I'd put liver on a beef burger.
No.
No, I would. Oh, I love liver.
Liver's great.
Organ meat is just great in general if you cook it right. Got a lot of minerals to it.
Mm-hmm.
Steak and kidney pie is very popular in this country.
We don't get meat pies over here for the most part. Like, occasionally you might get, pot pie, right? Like a chicken pot pie. But we don't get, like,
Yeah.
a wide variety of meat pies.
Well, over there, your pies, when someone says pie to you, you probably think dessert pies.
Sweet, yeah.
Whereas over here, when you say pies, it's a meat pie or a cheese and
Yeah.
onion pie.
Well, I think a lot of people think that. Despite being American, I come from a very Irish family. So I do think of meat pies. I just have to make them myself. You don't have really, like, the options and stuff to do that here.
If you're in New York, pie means pizza.
I also still occasionally use pie to mean pizza.
Ah, Pixel. Gonna have to time him out for that. Says liver is the worst.
I love lamb.
Sigh.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. Lamb is my favorite meat.
Nobody time him out. I was just kidding. Clark's
think-
pie.
Just a sirloin steak is my favorite kind of meat, but
Mm.
other than that, lamb. Lamb's definitely good. And goat.
Especially like a nice
Love
rack of lamb.
Duck is
I lived
also
on-
acceptable.
Oh yeah.
I lived
like
in Australia when I was a kid, and we had lamb all the time because it was so damn cheap there.
Mm.
Like here, it's an expensive delicacy. But in
You're making me
Australia,
want to move to
it's
Australia, which is a hard thing to do.
I think a leg of lamb over here would be about $25.
Yeah, that's within normal price range.
Mhm. It was incredibly cheap. It was like 1/5 of that, I think, in Australia. GMT says Clark's pie is a delicacy in Cardiff. What is Clark's pie?
And Clark's pie.
Is that a real thing or is that a joke?
You can never tell with GMT.
I know.
There's a place called Clark's Pie.
Oh, look at that.
I think it's a
Clark-
Welsh thing.
Yeah, it says well-known meat pies that originated in Cardiff. It can now be found in Bristol in the south of Wales.
Mm.
All right, it's a real thing. And GMT says, do you not have Frey Bento's pies in the U.S.? Do you know what
Oh.
that is, Pickles?
Wait, what?
The Frey
Frey
Bento's
Bento's
pies.
pie?
Is that
Oh, steak and kidney?
yeah, it's like a tinned pie. It's basically
Yeah.
pie in a can.
Apparently we do. I've just never heard of them before.
They're
But
very cheap.
you can order from Amazon.
Yeah. Now, we have some things that vaguely resemble meat pies that are available, but you can blame the Italians for that. A calzone really isn't that much different than, say, a meat pie. They just have, like, a lot of sauce and cheese in it. And you get Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets are often kind of like a meat pie. Especially since a lot of meat pies they don't really have what you expect to be the pie shape. A lot of them kind of like a roll filled with things. Just however it ends up being baked. But Yeah, Hot Pockets are kind of a meat pie.
Yeah, I have Hot Pockets all the time.
I
There we
hate
go.
most of them though.
What are Hot Pockets?
A Hot Pocket
You know what it
is it's kind of now just a variety thing, but it started out as pizza, right? And then they would roll pizza up into these tiny dough packets and like bake them and make them to where they're reheatable. So you shove them in the microwave, you heat it up, and then you have like this tiny little pie that's filled with like pizza parts in it. But now they come in everything. They've got like chicken Hot Pockets, anything you could want. They have it in like little pie form.
Ham and cheese. Yeah. It's basically a brand name of a meat pie in the form of a calzone.
Yeah.
That you stick in the microwave.
Just nuke it.
I've ate tripe before. If you just know what that is.
Yeah, I know tripe.
That's why I'm making this face.
If people don't know, it's like stomach lining or something like that.
Well, see, that doesn't bother me. Again, I have a very, very Gallic family, right? Very Celtic. So I'll eat all kinds of things like haggis and stuff like that, and that it does not bother me at all. It's culture.
People tend to fry tripe these days.
Oh, that sounds fun.
As in,
Yeah, there you go.
Deep fried.
GMT is calling a Hot Pocket like a pasty. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
pasty.
They're very similar.
As opposed to a pasty. So something different.
Yeah. Though, in the modern day, both can be edible.
That's true.
I only eat one kind of pasty. And it's basically sausage, beans, and cheese that's melted into the beans from a bakery called Greg's. That's the only one I eat.
No, that sounds pretty good.
Pixel says in San Diego they have California burritos.
What is a California burrito? Is that different than a normal burrito that you would call it a California burrito, or like what's in it? This is what I need to know.
Have we had this discussion about breakfast burritos before? I don't remember.
Maybe.
I know I've had this discussion with. I
know,
don't
I'm
like
not-
breakfast burritos.
Yeah, I'm not big. I'm not big on burritos in general, but like the problem with
Oh,
the
I love-
breakfast burrito that we've talked about is the egg, right? Because it's
Yeah,
basically like
yeah.
an omelet inside of a tortilla, and the tortilla and the egg both serve the same function in this case, right? Either have an omelet or not.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. There's something about a wheat tortilla that just doesn't match with eggs for some reason for me. I don't know why. But yeah, just have an omelet. Of course,
Yeah.
you can't really pick up an omelet. It's a little bit wetter.
Well, it depends. How warm do you still want it to be? If you let it sit there for a while, it'll eventually get hard. I'm not sure you want to eat that though.
Yeah, but I'd rather just have. I love burritos, like just lunch burritos.
Yeah.
The only kind of burritos you get over here are Taco Bell burritos.
Oh, funny. I was
And
actually
I've-
just eating Taco
I-
Bell.
I've not had one in over a year, so it's making me a bit angry.
See, my problem is
But you haven't.
I'll eat it, but I hate Taco Bell. And the
I
reason I
love
hate Taco Bell, well, see, it's probably the best option you have where you are. I live in Texas, right? I can go get better Mexican food or even like Tex-Mex or whatever just by walking down the street. But the people I live with, like they go out and they'll pick up food, especially if I'm busy running a show. You can't be too picky about it. They get Taco Bell. There's a nice taqueria down the street that sells street tacos by people who used to live in Mexico and make street tacos on the street, and they're delicious. I would rather go there.
Well, there's a thing called a volcano burrito at Taco Bell. That's the only one I get.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Well, if he gets
I
it,
have
you'd
no
hope he'd like it.
Yeah, I
I've
guess.
built an immunity. I don't leak out the asshole anymore.
Well, I like Taco Bell, okay, but yeah, there's so much better Mexican food in the States. It's just
Yeah, GMT, that's true. No, we haven't quite hit that stage where Taco Bell is the only restaurant in the country.
no, we haven't had the franchise wars yet.
No.
But yeah, a good burrito. I mean, even like from Chipotle is a popular, what do you call it, franchise or whatever, that makes pretty decent burritos, in my opinion.
Rather go to Freebirds.
Oh yeah. I used to live in Texas. I know Freebirds.
Yeah, you know Freebirds.
Oh,
That's
man.
again, I'm not big on burritos. I love the stuff in it. I don't like flour tortillas so much. I'm more of a corn tortilla kind of guy. But you go to Freebirds, you could just get a bowl and just load everything up in there. Travis really likes Freebirds. Usually, like a whole group of us on his birthday, that's the place he chooses to go.
The toilet paper thing made that very clear. In the toilet paper shortage?
Yeah. Why would you need a toilet paper shortage if everybody's just using the 3 seashells?
Indeed. So you've expressed an interest in visiting Texas specifically, haven't you, Pickles?
Yeah, I think Texas is my spirit state.
It's a great
Yeah.
state.
I've also I've talked about going to, like, I think it's Tennessee, to visit some people as well. I remember,
Yeah.
I think I was speaking to someone about visiting. I'm like, I'll probably just purposely shoot myself in the foot to see what it feels like.
What?
And they're like, okay, you're not getting a gun.
Sadly though, I can understand the desire there. If it wasn't for the fact that I've already injured my body in so many ways from so many different implements, that I probably, I know what so many things feel like. I don't have a desire to know what other things feel like, but like, I get it. There was at one point in my life where I stabbed myself just to know what it felt like.
If you want to know what it feels like to be shot, I can describe the sensation to you in perfect detail.
But he won't know unless he feels it.
Yeah, and every sensation from that point until like a year and a half later when I was fully recovered. I can describe everything to you, but I would not recommend it.
I was actually
do it more.
I was that close. I was that close to visiting Tennessee, actually, the other day. As we were driving up, we just kept seeing signs for Memphis. And it's like, we haven't been to Tennessee in a while. And we kept looking at it over, thinking about it. We're like, nah.
Memphis is the worst option in Tennessee.
Well, yeah, but that's the turnout. Like on the highway we are. We'd go past Memphis to other places, but that's the direction.
I lived in Nashville for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I could definitely give you all a tour of Nashville.
Isn't that a show?
It also is a show, yes.
I've not seen it.
But it is also a city.
But yeah, my main desire is to go to Texas because I know a few people in Texas.
I'm in Texas.
So yeah, there's metal. There's people like Tim, but he would probably phone the police on me from stalking him.
Mm-hmm.
Tim who?
Lim.
Oh, Tim. Okay.
I'm gonna be a stalker.
I probably could not give you I lived in Austin, but only for a year, and that was a while ago. So.
There's some other people that live in Texas. I forget who.
I could give you a tour of most Texas cities, even the ones I don't live in.
Cool. San Antonio's nice, right? I mean, they've got the canals.
Yeah, and they got that fake Alamo that everybody visits because you have to go out of the city to go see the real Alamo.
There's a fake Alamo?
Yeah.
How many people ride horses and have cowboy hats?
it's not as common as you would think from TV, but it's also not as uncommon as somebody would want to believe, thinking the world is a saner place than it is. It's like maybe 1 in 8.
I remember there were a few people.
Yeah.
When I was in Austin, I worked at a software development company, and a few people came into work in cowboy hats and boots every day.
Yeah, like it's not the bulk of people, but it's still common enough that you can expect to see it on a nearly daily basis.
Yeah.
My mental image of Texans is just basically, say they get a free voucher from a newspaper for like some laundry, then I just expect them to go like, yeah, and start just shooting up in the air. That's my mental image.
GMT says, are there cold parts of Texas with decent internet? Oh,
there are no cold parts of Texas. There are some fair weather parts of Texas. If you go up to the Panhandle, up in like Lubbock and Alvarado and stuff like that, there are parts where it stays pretty fair all year because you're basically just in the Great Plains. It's going to be the same weather as the rest of the Great Plains. It can get kind of warm, but you're not. It's higher altitude, so you're not expecting like 110-degree days. The warmest it probably gets up there, even on like a hot day, is in the low 90s, mostly the high 80s.
Well, it also depends. It's also our ideas of fair weather.
Yeah.
Fair weather to me is 15 degrees Celsius. And hot is 20.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess when you're used to days that in the Fahrenheit it gets up to 115 degrees, fair weather can be a lot higher from your perspective.
Yeah, 115 is like 45, I believe, Celsius.
Yeah, something like that. Because his fair weather is like 60.
Yeah, that's a little cold for me. See, the thing is, what you got to realize is that England is about the same latitude as like New England.
Yeah.
Like the northern states.
Like Maine.
So anywhere in Texas is going to be farther south than England.
Yeah.
So it's going to be warmer.
Half the state is desert.
True.
Like we line up with some of Africa when you're talking about like the latitude here.
Yeah. And it's hot desert.
I say Texas is my spirit state, but if I see a big spider or a snake, I'm grabbing someone's gun and shooting it.
Well, then that would totally be your spirit state, because that's how most other people react to it too. Except it's usually their own gun.
That is the proper reaction.
Yeah. Well, especially with how dangerous rattlesnakes are. But at least they give you a warning.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to worry. The snakes aren't the problem, right? Especially if you live in an area where snakes are. We don't have to worry too much. Maybe copperheads occasionally, if you live next to a forested area. But if you're in the city, you really don't have to worry about snakes. But rattlesnakes, which are one of the most poisonous snakes in the entire world, or any snake in general, if you like talk to yourself while walking around, if you're singing, just making noise, they'll stay away from you. They don't like people. Spiders, on the other hand, are not very receptive to noise. Some of the spiders that you need to worry about are the ones you can't see, like the brown recluse.
Yeah, but as long as you're not like crawling around in caves or under your house,
yeah,
you don't have to worry too much about a brown recluse.
They get into your house though. They kind of just wander around. We have tarantulas here, fairly common. You might find one once in a blue moon, but they're not dangerous. You know, they look more frightening than they actually are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not Australia where anything can kill you at any time.
I think I'd rather go to Texas than where some of my other online buddies live. Say like Malaysia or Australia.
Yeah. Well, especially like in my area, right? Dallas is a pretty fairly safe area when it comes to animals. Like, we don't even really get scorpions around here. It's a very rare thing. And part of it's because we have tarantulas, and tarantulas and scorpions compete with each other. So if you see one in like dominant fashion, the other's not really going to be around. If you go more south towards the desert or more west towards the desert, because I'm at the bottom of the plains. It's still plains where I am. You can get a lot of scorpions out there.
You know, I was in Phoenix, Arizona for 4 years. I don't think I ever saw a scorpion one time.
Yeah, I think we talked about this too.
Which is weird. I was expecting to see one, but never.
I saw a scorpion last time I was in Austin. I went right into my my aunt's house that we were staying at, right in the kitchen, trapped it under a cup.
Seen funny looking spiders, but
I also would like to visit New Orleans, though.
that's a good place.
Yeah, it's a fun place, especially if you're there not during Mardi Gras. Everybody wants to go during Mardi Gras because that's kind of just like, you know, that's what you hear about the place. But that's like the worst time you could ever be in New Orleans.
GMT says it's only a matter of time before tarantulas and scorpions breed and you get a terrorpion. I don't think it's possible.
I believe that is called the Iraqi desert camel spider.
That's right.
Which is actually a form of whip scorpion. It's not a spider.
You know. New Orleans is fun. I've been. Yeah. I honestly wouldn't recommend it going the week of Mardi Gras.
Yeah, the week after is great.
Yeah, I've been the week after, and it's still a party. It's just not as insane.
Yeah, no, Mardi Gras is the worst time to go. The week before or the week after.
What Mardi Gras is?
It's a party. It's a big festival, like a parade. But the week of it, it's kind of like spring break for really drunk adults that are too old for spring break. You get some young ones there too, but it's like late 20s to middle age people.
Yeah, it's a week-long crazy party. And I mean, if you want to, there's this thing where if you give women beads, they'll take their shirt off, I think.
Yeah, they'll like flash you and stuff. Yeah.
And then there's there's parades.
A lot of alcohol. Good food, but you can get that good food any time of the year.
Yeah, but I've been there like the week after Mardi Gras, and it was still an awesome time. It was still basically a party. It just wasn't as insane as I've heard.
No, I've been during both, so I have comparison.
I want to eat a crocodile, though.
Oh, well, you can get that anywhere in the South. Like, you don't have to go to New Orleans for that. Still recommend going there if they have... Well, alligator. You don't really get crocodile anywhere, but...
Yeah, you can get gator bites in Tennessee.
Yeah. You want crocodile, you have to basically go anywhere but America. Because the variant that we mostly get here is just the alligator.
Mm-hmm. We do have crocodiles, but they might be endangered, so I don't know if you're allowed to eat them.
You can get alligator here in Texas if you want to eat it. We have alligators right in the Trinity River.
Mm-hmm. But they do have both alligators and crocodiles in Florida.
Yeah.
I've just never heard of anyone eating a crocodile.
I'm more scared of the people than the crocodiles in Florida.
I don't know. Those crack gators can get kind of scary.
Crack gators?
Yeah.
Is it just gators missing teeth and skinny and just snotting lines?
Well, what they do is they dump their crack out, right? They like to get rid of it so the cops don't get them. And the crack gets in the water and the gators end up eating it. And they become almost rabid, like... Because gators will attack somebody who goes into the water because it's food at that point. But they normally don't come out on the land and start chasing after people. It happens once in a blue moon, but it's not a common thing. Crack gators, though, they lose all inhibitions. They start chasing after people on foot, on land. And they become pretty scary.
TMT says she will not take her shirt off if someone gave her beads, but maybe if they gave her bees.
You don't get a lot of bees in southern Louisiana. I mean, they do show up, but they're very rare because bees really just aren't swamp creatures. And that's what most of southern Louisiana is.
I didn't think GMT wore shirts. I thought she was,
Well, like a chest plate or something, right?
A robot, yeah.
Yeah.
Chest plate.
Well, I mean, everybody likes to wear, like their favorite gimmick shirts and stuff. Maybe the robots just throw it over, just, for fun.
I don't know.
You won't be funny if I take my shirt off.
You can take whatever off you want. We can't see you.
I meant if I went to Mardi Gras.
Oh.
I don't have to go to Mardi Gras for women to take their shirts off for me. Back when I was a sign waver at Firehouse, I was flashed like... Firehouse is a sub place, by the way, for people that don't know. But when I used to wave the sign to get people to come in, like high schoolers would just flash me almost all the time. I think during that whole year that I was a sign waver, I was flashed like 15 separate times.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
Did not know that was a thing.
High schoolers are horny.
Yeah, we're talking women here, right?
Oh, no, women, yeah.
That doesn't convince me. I think it's guys.
No, see, because guys, when you see their shirt, their chest, it's not because they're flashing you. It's because they didn't bother wearing a shirt in the first place.
Well, people that don't wear shirts over here are just overweight guys that are just drinking beers in the gardens.
You get a mix of that here. There's a lot of like gym guys who like to walk around without their shirts on.
I think it's funny that when I look at the chat, it actually looks like I'm looking at the chat. Humorous to me. But GMT says taking off her shirt does require an impact driver. So. So what games have you been playing, if any, Pickles? Any video games?
Recently, I've been playing No Man's Sky.
Oh, how's that? I've been. It's one of those games I've been like looking at, like, should I buy it? What do I buy? I'm not sure. What do you think?
It's one of those games that I would say requires a bit of patience.
It strikes me as sort of like it's like a survival game, right? Like Don't Starve or that sort of thing.
Yeah, but you don't need to eat food. You just need to refill. You just need to get the resources to make your suit last. So I guess it's sort of eating. I've been trying to play it with Shabby, but there's like a weird cross-plat thing, but it hasn't allowed us to play together yet.
What platform are you playing on?
Xbox.
Oh, okay. What is he on Steam or something?
And he plays on Steam, yeah. I've been playing Pillars of Eternity as well.
What kind of? I don't know that game at all. What's that like?
Do you know what Divinity is? Divinity Original Sin.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that style, the isometric RPG.
Oh.
But it's by Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
Who did Knights of the Old Republic 2 and, Fallout New Vegas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
It's pretty decent. I played a bit of the new Avengers DLC.
Is that a fighting game?
No, it's like a similar to a hack and slash. It's kind of just like a fighting adventure game.
Like open world sort of.
Kinda ish. I mean,
it's a live surface game.
Yeah.
It's
more like a dungeon crawler than open world.
A lot of it is the same stuff and it's a bit crappy. But the fight in it's pretty decent. But the DLC, that was over in like 4 hours.
Buckhead in chat there, he plays it, so I see the game all the time.
I am not up on the latest stuff.
I've also been playing a new game called It Takes Two.
Oh, what's that?
It's basically a two-player platform game.
I think we
It just
actually talked
came.
about this.
It recently came out. I've also
we
played.
talked about this game on the Vomitorium.
I've also played. I've played about 60 hours of Valheim.
Now that I'm familiar with.
Me and Shabby have been playing it together.
Oh yes, that does very
So-
much seem like a shabby type of game.
He's been building a castle in there.
Now that reminds me a lot of Ark, right? It's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's
No.
kind of
Oh,
just
it's
like a
not similar.
open sandbox survival game. It's just that one's more Nordic mythology themed, while Ark is dinosaurs and robots, or
Right,
adding
right.
mechanical stuff to dinosaurs.
And yeah, dino robots.
But I am also saving up for the next generation console.
Oh, which one you get?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get the Xbox Series X.
Cool.
Oh, that
don't
is
know
an
what-
important question.
I don't know what the preferred choice is of most people.
How many steps are there up to Shabby's castle?
There's actually a lot of stairs. I get
No
lost.
That's fascinating. That is a surprise.
I'm not
I'm-
interested in either of the next generation consoles. If I was gonna get one, though, it probably would be the Xbox Series X. But my thing is, like, I could play almost anything I want from Xbox on my computer.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. An Xbox exclusive usually means it's on PC as well.
Yeah, it's a Windows or Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah, which I expect the next, Starfield and Elder Scrolls to be.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think they were well on their way. I mean, if it is, it would be timed. As far
Yeah,
as
I don't think
Elder
they're going to
Scrolls.
do any permanent exclusives, but they understand, right? Which we talked about. The launch window is where you make like 90% of the game's sales that the game's ever going to have. So a timed exclusive is functionally just as good as a permanent exclusive because most people who are ever going to buy the game are going to get it during the window of the timed exclusive.
I guess.
Well, my theory is that the next Bethesda game, Starfield, I think that's going to be a timed exclusive. This is going to be a big shout, but Elder Scrolls 6, I think that's going to be an actual exclusive.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think
just
it
like they
can
did
be.
with Morrowind.
Well, here's the problem. I think it's going to be a timed exclusive, possibly in the other direction, because Sony, before the buyout, put a lot of money into the games.
That was for Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah. So I don't even think it might even be a timed exclusive. I think Elder Scrolls might just outright be available on every system it's going to be available on.
That's what I think. I think
'Cause-
it's going to be.
What Phil Spencer said, he says, if there's already games on the other platform, they'll keep on supporting it, and if there's contractual obligations, then they'll honor it. Other
Yeah.
than that, it will be an exclusive to where Game Pass is.
I'm willing to bet they already have contractual obligations for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Well,
I believe so.
I don't know because they've not really started development on it yet.
Yeah, but they've been talking to people since well before the Microsoft buyout, though.
This is the thing, because I think Microsoft needs to be a bit more open,
Yeah.
because then, it's basically a waiting game. Like, PlayStation people are probably wondering what's going on.
Yeah, I
And I do
wonder if they're
think
going to.
specifically it's probably going to hurt PlayStation more than anyone else. Right? Because right now Microsoft and Nintendo are getting along swimmingly as far as things go. I don't think Nintendo's going to have to wait too long, even with timed exclusivity windows, before getting anything.
I was thinking if they do come out with a new Switch with the more recent NVIDIA chip, they might even be able to come out with Elder Scrolls 6 on the Switch.
I think what they might do on the Switch will be what they do with the mobile phones, where you can stream it.
Oh, well, I don't think they'll do that. I think if there's a version that's made for the mobile phone, if they don't come out with the new chip, that's probably the version that will end up on the Switch. I don't know if they'll do a streaming thing, though.
Because there is the xCloud. So basically, you have to buy Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to get the xCloud, and that's where you can stream on a mobile device and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that's like Google's Stadia thing. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if an xCloud app was added to the Switch. I don't think that's going to be their way of putting games on there, though. Like, that would probably just be an additional option, just because the Switch is already compatible with many mobile versions of games anyway.
I think it depends on how demanding the game is and if they upgrade the Switch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It may require the new Switch, but I don't know. Bethesda's been pretty big on multi-platform in the past.
Yeah. Well, and the Switch version of Skyrim is one of the most sold versions of the game, just because of the portability of it.
And you can dress up as Link on it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. True. That's the only version I've ever bought. It's the Switch version of Skyrim.
I bought the when it came out on the 360 and the Xbox One.
I have it on Steam because I picked it up for $5.
I think what they're doing now, though, is they're improving the frame rate and making it a 4K resolution.
Skyrim?
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know how that'll work.
I doubt they're still working on it.
Well, I did notice something on Game Pass. Because Game Pass has all the Bethesda games on it now because of the deal going through.
Yeah.
They removed Fallout 3. So I'm thinking they might do a remastered Fallout 3.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
But yeah, I've got Skyrim on my Steam wish list, just waiting for it to be $5 again.
Yeah, usually it's good during like the seasonal sales. And I got really lucky. I picked it up prior to the special edition coming out, right? Because the special edition is just the next generational version after the original. So it's like it originally was out on the PS3 and 360. So when the 1 and the PS4 came out, they came up with an upgraded version of the game. And on PC, they just called it the special edition. And because I bought it before that, I also got the special edition for free. They just gave you the upgrade. So I basically got 2 copies of Skyrim for a single payment of $5. And the special edition also came with all the DLC.
GMT says she's going to make a game and make it exclusive to the Atari Jaguar. Good plan.
Sounds like a very, very niche audience there.
Mm-hmm. VR game in the Jaguar. Would you have to strap the Jaguar to your face to get a VR game on the Jaguar?
No, make a game exclusive to the Virtual Boy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not actually a fan of VR.
I'm not either. I like AR. Augmented reality.
I don't see the appeal of it.
Yeah, I saw there was a lot. The last time I went to Game Developer Conference 2017, I believe, there was a lot of VR just everywhere. I mean, even up to this giant ball that you get in where you can walk in any direction, and the whole facial thing, and it's like, who's gonna have that in their house? Like,
I kind of want one of those pods. Have you been to an arcade where they have like the flight sim pods where you like there's a door, you walk in and get into the seat? There was one for like a mech battle. It's like a Gundam pod. I want a pod You know, I don't want something strapped to my head. I want to go in and I want to do my battle simulations inside a full dome screen pod.
That's right. And I've only like looked at a VR game really early on, like back in 2016, 17, where I was like a roller coaster simulation. So I've never actually played a VR game.
I have played VR chat without the VR.
Like, you're just on your screen?
Yeah.
I've done that.
I didn't know you could do that. I would do that.
Yeah, you can do that. I don't know about other VR games, but you can do it with VR chat.
Well, I know there's a lot of VR games that you can just play on the screen. Just, you know, with a normal controller. Most of them do. The ones that are for, like, consoles and stuff. Because it's like, you know, what if you didn't know it was a VR game, right? And you bought it. They didn't want it to be a waste.
So have we actually talked about this It Takes Two? I don't remember talking about this.
Yeah, we talked about it, we didn't talk about it. We talked about the creator of it. I don't think we actually discussed the game. The creator did like an opinion piece on... What was it? I remember we because the game came up, we were talking about something. And it was one of those pieces, because it was one of those things I always complain about, so I thought it'd be something to talk about. But I complain about a lot, so it's hard to narrow that down.
It's an EA game. It's easy to complain about.
It's either something about multiplayer or something about infantilizing audiences. That had to be the only two things that we could have been possibly talking about.
So are you saying you have trouble finding people to play with, Pickles?
I play with my girlfriend.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right.
It's always handy to have a player or two around at all times.
That's right.
It's actually a pretty fun game, though. I may have accidentally yelled a few times.
Kind of like in Mario Party, I've yelled at that. Have y'all? The only time I've ever played multiplayer Stardew Valley was with Shaddy, but he hasn't done it recently, which is a shame because they just came out with a whole bunch of new content.
I've played a bunch of games with Shaddy. Terraria, Valheim.
I was supposed to play Terraria with him, but I couldn't get it working on my old computer.
I have Terraria, but I don't know. It's too. I haven't gotten into it.
I'm terrible at Terraria.
I'm great at it. First thing I ever do is I just start digging a hellhole.
We also played Fortnite. I won, I think it was 14 games in a row. Then we just started losing all the time, so we just never played it again.
Like you actually won out of everyone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mad Fortnite skills.
So
You gotta dab on those haters.
now they've got like driving and stuff. Like the last time I played, you couldn't get in a car and drive, could you? Has that always been that?
No, but you can
I'm
get
not sure
Raven from Teen Titans in Fortnite, so hail Raven.
That is true. Hail Raven.
But now you can get in cars and drive around. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know if I only played it like a few months ago, so I don't know if you could never, if there was a part where you couldn't drive.
Well, we've reached peak media now with Fortnite, because not only is Raven in it, you can get Raven to dab in Fortnite. The world doesn't get any better than this. We've hit it. That's the top. That's the peak.
I mean, it kind of hurts my soul hearing that.
Yeah.
Squeaker says hail Raven on D Live.
Yeah, we'll get a bunch of hail ravens. More and more
who's your
people are
favorite
leaving the cult of Raven every day. Just recently, I come back from my vacation to find out that Booster left the cult.
When was that?
Kiwi.
Oh, it was like I don't know when it happened. It was during the time that it was gone. I could find the exact day.
Very recently.
It was
Oh, I just got it from Nintendo.
It was today, actually. Yeah. Around like 1 o'clock.
Is he still hailing Raven though?
I don't know. It's hard to
DMT
tell
says
because
which
people will
Raven?
leave the cult, but then they'll still act like they're in the cult. Like Marsupial here.
Hey. Oops. Look what's available.
The Pac-Man finally available? I can't tell.
Pac-Man. Oh,
Okay.
that's a lot of text that you have to agree to. Oh, you have to hold it down. Jeez.
Like
You
as
really
your
have
screen
to-
finally came into focus, it's because the like your camera started making everything in the background black. Like you just disappeared.
There it is. Pac-Man 99 is available and playable.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I got that the Super Mario All-Star game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the one where it's got Mario 64, Sunshine and Galaxy on it.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier, the fact that it's no longer available.
Yeah, I might sell it for $500.
Yeah. Oh, is DMT the Discord Pope of Cultivating?
Yeah, that's okay. Booster wasn't allowed in the Discord anyway. I don't know
I'm all
why.
washed out. Stop that camera. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Weird. So, which Raven is in Fortnite? That's the question.
It kind of looks like a more cartoony version of I think the one from the Injustice video game. It's adult Raven, so you know.
Adult Raven.
Yeah, adult Raven.
Like
in the
is that like the
comics.
one? Oh, okay. Not from Teen Titans, the cartoon.
No, it is not the cartoon version of her. It just she looks cartoony because everything in Fortnite looks cartoony.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Josh would never let him in the Discord. Oh well, it was around long enough to defeat the Church of Starfire. What more could you ask
Yeah,
for?
Cult of Raven dwindles every day, no longer having a cause to bind them together.
Right. I can still hail Raven though.
Oh
There's
yeah.
no common enemy. It's
Hmm?
just Raven's still better than Starfire though.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Like, clearly.
Nothing will change that. Buckler needs to be in Fortnite. I agree with that.
So we can get the buckler dabbing on people.
So you don't have a Switch, do you, Pickles?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Well, why would he buy
do.
Mario if he doesn't have a Switch?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Are you gonna play Pac-Man 99?
I've not played Pac-Man since I was a child, but I might give it a go.
Free? As long as you've got the Nintendo Network thing.
I don't know if I actually have that.
It was only like a single $20 payment for the entire year, so it's pretty cost effective, and you get a lot of features out of it.
Yeah, I think it's like $3 a month.
Yeah, not too bad. In case you
I
couldn't
think
tell,
it's,
we don't have a lot of topics to discuss.
Yeah.
Today.
Well, I have topics, but
Well-
we've just been going off on things.
I did
I haven't
read
even brought
Immortal
anything
Hulk
up.
issue 45.
Say
It's
again?
good. I did read Immortal Hulk issue 45.
My condolences.
It's a good run. I've enjoyed it. But
Right on.
there was a bit. I think it was in either. I think it might have been issue 44 or issue 43. Joe Fixit basically robs a store or some shit like that, and the police think it's this black kid. So like the cops are beating up this black kid, and
Yeah.
Joe Fixit hulks out and smashes a car next to him.
You can totally mistake an 8-foot-tall gray man wearing a suit for a black kid.
It wasn't okay. So what's going on in Immortal Hulk right now is Joe Fixit is basically in control of Banner's body,
Oh, okay.
and when he hulks out into Savage Hulk, who is a tall anorexic guy.
I'm hating this more and more as you describe it.
And everybody knows that when somebody is suspected of committing a crime, the immediate first thing that happens is the police beat you up. Of course. Right?
So an issue 45 which came out today. I don't know if people want to hear spoilers.
I don't think anybody else other than you in this whole world is even reading this run, so go ahead.
Basically, I forget who they're called, the UFOs or something like that. The counterparts of the Fantastic Four, basically.
Mhm.
And they kill the Hulk, and they keep burning him with cosmic radiation to keep him dead. Because that's the thing about the Hulk, he can't die.
Yeah.
So what happens in this place called the Down Below?
That I'm familiar with because I was reading up until like the end of 2019, I think, or maybe a little into 2020. I kind of just like stopped reading Marvel comics somewhere around like the beginning of 2020.
That's kind of me with DC.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I wrote DC off too.
the thing with in the Down Below, the leader is in control of that place, and it's Joe Fixit and Savage Hulk that are trying to fight him in this place after he died.
We lost connection.
Then, kind of out of nowhere, Joe Fixit transforms into Red Hulk and smashes through the green door to revive himself to come to the real world. And that's when the grey Joe Fixit is back. And he has got red veins on him.
Okay.
So I thought it was pretty a decent issue.
Yeah, I mean the fight scenes have been okay, from what I remember. I like that. There were some things I liked. I liked his the body horror is pretty good too. I liked his little conversation with Samson, like many issues back. There were some things from the run I actually liked, but I don't know. Overall, I didn't like a lot of the premise going on with the whole like one below all and all that stuff.
I mean, the whole run is just kind of to explain why Marvel decided to bring him back from the dead.
Yeah.
Mhm. Why did they?
Because his death in Civil War 2 was bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have read Civil War 2.
Everything about Civil War 2 is bullshit. I don't know if there is a single redeemable factor of Civil War 2.
Civil War 2 was that bad. I cheered when Bendis went to DC.
I can't argue with that at all.
But then I realized, oh, DC is going to go bad now because Rebirth has been great.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff about Rebirth. Especially when they merged the two disconnected Superman back into one person.
But, lo and behold, Bendis ruined, Superman and his son.
Oh, we could actually probably make a series called Bendis Ruins Everything. And it would probably be pretty popular.
But yeah, I've wrote off DC. I think they're in a worse place than Marvel.
Probably. I don't see either of them getting better, so I kind of just written off both of them.
All I've been reading from Marvel is Immortal Hulk, Venom, and Thor. Apparently Iron Man's good. Because it's got different writers, not Dan Slott.
Does Dan Slott still write anything? Because I think he kind of just needs to retire.
Fantastic Four? Or is that Mike Wade? I think it's Dan Slott.
He used to write really good Daredevil back in the day.
Confession. I liked Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man.
You did? What'd you like about it?
If I went in a completely different direction than what you're used to with Spider-Man.
So the novelty.
Yeah. I like it when heroes go against the norm for what has been established for 50 years. They try to do something a bit different. That's why I wasn't totally against Captain America saying Hail Hydra. I thought it was a twist. That was very interesting, but it turned out to be a lot of garbage.
Yeah, I mean, if it was for an interesting and good reason, maybe I'd follow along. It's just then the reason turned out to be utter bullshit.
Yeah. It was like Red Skull used the Cosmic Cube to change his history. But at the end of Secret Empire, they could have gotten the Secret Cube to kind of reset what happened, but they didn't. They just made a copy of a good Captain America.
Yeah, from like somebody's memory of him.
Yeah, I need that.
So the Captain America we see in Ta-Nehisi Coates' run isn't even the real Captain America.
No.
But is the Red Skull Jordan Peterson? That's the question.
Oh, I saw those.
Did anyone watch the video by your boy Zach on that? I thought he had the best video on that.
I've not watched any of his videos in 2 years, sadly.
Oh, he had a great video. He basically was like, "Look, I can't." He's basically like, "That is the most boring, predictable story I could ever imagine." And he's like, "I came up with a better version, sitting around waiting in a fast food drive-thru." And in his version, the way that he suggested, you could do an interesting story where you kind of use a little bit of Jordan Peterson in there, is if the Red Skull basically was like a cancel culture guy, and he goes around, or he has maybe even like AI bots cancel people who said something bad 10 or 12 years ago and get them on the verge of committing suicide, get them fired and all that stuff. And then when they're at their lowest, then approach them and be like, I'm on your side, it's going to be okay. And then like pretend that you're trying to like rehabilitate them or, get them out of their depression. But then like start to indoctrinate them with evil Red Skull stuff. So
that sounds kind of familiar, like most of modern media.
Yeah. But basically just turn them into a SJW cancel culture warrior.
I mean, that's kind of like how the SJWs work, is they make you hate yourself, and then they give you a path of redemption by joining their side and be like, hey, you can be a better person. You don't have to hate yourself if you just fight for this cause.
Yeah, there you go. So basically, he turned it around and said that that would have made a more interesting story for to turn the Red Skull into something in modern pop culture, which I thought would be fascinating. But no, it's just boring. I'm gonna put this guy's words in your mouth and then, haha, dunked on you, I guess. Haha, they made you a villain.
A lot of that stuff happens all the time now, doesn't it? It's happened before. I think they did it in Moon Knight with Ernst. Was it Ernst what they did it with? The villain of Moon Knight.
Yeah. Well, they made him into a villain in something.
And then they did it in DC, where Darkseid was in control of like the elections and Trump and stuff like that.
Well, the weird thing is they wonder why nobody likes their versions of heroes, but they keep taking people who aren't bad, and a lot of times they're saying like true things. They're putting their words in the mouth of the villain, so they don't understand that they're having their heroes fight people that are saying good things. Like, yes, I totally like this hero who's punching a good guy. I don't care if he was previously a bad guy. You've basically turned him into a good guy.
It's weird because I've not read Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America because I didn't like his run on Black Panther.
Yeah.
But my vision of Captain America is just the guy that does the right thing, regardless of what anybody thinks of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a boy from Brooklyn who doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
Yeah, just if you see someone in trouble, you help him. You stand up for their freedoms, basically.
Yeah, he's kind of a Boy Scout.
Not exactly the culture warrior type.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I see Ta-Nehisi Coates' name on something, and it instantly makes me not want to read it anymore, or even partake in it. I saw that he was going to be working on the next Superman movie, and it makes me not even want to watch that movie. Like, yep, I'm already out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think terrible. Tom King's movie of the New Gods got cancelled, so there is some hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that only got cancelled because Darkseid was in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but...
Yeah. Oh, somebody... Man, that was fast. Somebody on Twitch is already playing Pac-Man 99.
Oh, nice.
Instantly. So did y'all see the Ghostbusters movie trailer?
I have not.
No.
After.
When did that come out?
I think today.
Oh, well, man, I've been running around all day.
Well, it was just a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
I got you. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. It's funny. It's a funny scene with Paul Rudd where he hears noises coming out of a...
right?
What?
He was the teacher, right? That they showed in the first trailer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where he's in the grocery store and he hears sounds coming from a package of marshmallows, and these tiny little marshmallow men like rip their way out of this bag and they start walking around and they're like cooking each other on a fire. It's weird. I wonder if it's a dream sequence, but it looks kind of cute. It's kind of funny. Some people are like, well, it looks better than Ghostbusters 2016. That's for damn sure.
Well, one of the things that gave me hope from the first trailer is that they didn't show anything funny in the first trailer. Right? Yeah. And what a lot of people don't understand about a lot of these old comedies is that a lot of them were made comedic because of the improvisations of the actors in them. Right? Like, a lot of them were written by, say, Dan Aykroyd or Harold Ramis. I mean, Ramis wrote a lot of movie scripts. And they were written dry. Like, just regular, serious plots. And they were written to be flexible so that the actors who would be in it could come in and then do their thing. And you look at a lot of the actors in it, like a lot of these older movies, Ghostbusters, for example, all four of them were people with a funny bone. Right? And especially Murray, of all of them, made the movie funny just by acting the way that he acted. So it was not written as a comedy. It was performed as a comedy. That's why I don't know if these new ones can be good, right? Maybe this can, because I didn't see anything just funny. It didn't look like there were stupid jokes inserted in it for the sake of a joke. Maybe the actors are funny and they'll make them. Rudd's a funny guy. I could see you putting him into a serious scene and letting him improv and turning the scene into a funny scene.
Yeah. And I know, like, Bill Murray's in it.
Yeah.
To some capacity.
So I have some hope on that. I don't know. It's like, how many jokes are they writing into the movie? How organically funny are they going to let this be?
I just think it's hilarious that people are like, finally a Ghostbusters sequel. Like,
yeah,
that last one didn't exist. Hopefully we can all just.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even really a sequel, right? It was its own universe, so we can ignore it.
A bad reboot.
I've not even seen it, to be fair.
I refuse to watch it. I've got like the angry video
bad.
game nerd mentality on
I've seen it. There's nothing redeemable about it. It's terrible.
Just like I've not seen the Men in Black reboot.
Jimmy says, I like the barbecue scene in the trailer. It lampooned the 2016 movie in a subtle way. I think he's talking about where the marshmallow men are like barbecuing each other. I'm not sure what. It seems like more of a reference from the first one, where they zap the marshmallow man, but I'm not sure.
It is the first one, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's lampooning the 2016 movie or not, but I'll have to watch it again.
Well, to be fair, this movie can lampoon the 2016 movie just by existing, as long as it does a half-decent job.
Yeah, exactly. As long as there's no women in it. Women can't be funny, damn it. Except for GMT. But she's a robot, so she doesn't count.
Yeah, she was programmed to be funny, probably by a man.
Probably by a man, yeah. Exactly.
Aren't all robots made from men?
So what Dragon Ball Z taught me. Dr. Gero made all the robots.
Mm-hmm. And Mega Man taught me Dr. Light made them.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Wily wasn't even good at making robots. He just stole all of Dr. Light's.
You also have Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik. Now, he was actually really good at making robots.
Says their sole function is counting. Counting how unfunny women are. Boy, that one landed. that one didn't land.
I'm just gonna let it awkwardly just sit there.
I know. Sorry, I was kidding.
On another note, though, I'm gonna actually have to go now.
Yeah. Reconnection was successful. Hey, there we are. We're green. We're good. Hopefully we won't have any more delays or anything like this for the last 15 minutes of the podcast.
Wait, are we connected?
I'm green. Well, it says sending data to Twitch. We're good on YouTube, at least. And D Live. I don't know what's up with Twitch.
Yeah, we're back. We're back on Twitch.
Okay.
We're back.
I wouldn't be surprised if Twitch was like, you're not coming back after the things you said earlier.
Yeah, I was just joking. I was kidding.
I wasn't.
Anyway, Pickles. Yeah, Pickles had to go.
Yeah.
He decided I'm going to screw up their internet and then leave. So, all the way from England, he managed to get us.
You just edit the loading screen. We'll start getting banned from places. I have to put like a list of all the places we get banned from. Don't worry, we get banned from everywhere. I'll still find a way to do the show.
Yeah. Is Odyssey gonna get streaming?
Odyssey has streaming. I think it's only selective right now. They like just got it. Because Cross was talking about it before I left for my whole little weekend thing.
Well, See, I don't understand why BitChute never got around to doing streaming.
I don't know.
Don't seem like they will. But that's a shame because BitChute seemed to be a viable alternative if only they had added streaming.
Yeah.
They would have
Hey,
been. But
worst
now it
comes to
seems like
worst.
their window's closed.
We'll just we'll stream it live in the Vomitorium. And people can watch it from there, and we'll just upload the podcast afterwards. We may lose the video, which would be fine. We just have to make sure we become a community. I was gonna set up the Vomitorium as a community server, since it's open to the public anyway, so we could get the panel room. But,
you're talking about on Discord?
On Discord, yeah. But I forgot to do that before I left for vacation. Because my other one, the X Dynamis Chaos server, is set up as a community. It already has the new panel room thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever use it. There's like hardly anybody in that server, but if I set the Vomitorium up as a community server, we'll probably get it like immediately. One of the things I have to to be a community server, you have to have a clearly defined set of rules in their own channel that people can get to. And I've just been really lazy about putting rules up in the Vomitorium.
Well, just copy and paste what you had in the other one.
No, well, the other one has some specific things because, like, being a server centered around a world of fiction, there's like rules towards like role play and stuff like that. It does not apply to the Vomitorium. I would just have to type up some quick rules.
Copy and paste the rules of /B? What is that? Is that a Reddit thing?
No. That's the random board on 4chan/B.
Oh, 4chan.
Yeah.
All right.
You never been on 4chan?
So, I have been, but I'm not that familiar with it.
Okay. You probably spent all your time on /V. The video games?
Poll.
No,
that's right. I usually
mostly politics. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've only been to like /poll.
I should just put the rules of the internet there as a joke.
What's that?
I should just put the rules of the internet there as a joke.
There you go. Just include Rule 34 and you're good.
Yeah, yep.
So.
And we don't talk about rules, was it 1 through 32? So I think the rules start at like, I think, or was it 28? It doesn't start that early behind 34. There's only like a few rules there. And the first one is we don't talk about rules 1 through whenever it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I used to have them memorized.
Is there a Rule 69?
Yeah. In the extended rules. My favorite rule is 63. Which everybody knows about that one. That's the gender bend rule. 33. Yeah, I was right. I was just one off. Do not talk about rules 2 through 33. That's rule number 1.
Yeah.
And then 34, obviously, if there's porn, it exists, no exception. Or if it exists, there is porn, there is no exceptions. And 35 is the fact that the exception of Rule 34 is the citation of Rule 34. 37, I've actually quoted a lot on people's like chats that there are no girls on the internet. A lot of good ones. 50 was when it originally ended. But there so many have been added since the original post.
Yeah, most of these are just like, yeah, most of these are dumb.
Yeah, that was the whole point. It was a meme.
No, but I mean, some of them are funny and dumb, but like, then the later ones are just dumb.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like 50, too. That was a good ending point. You cannot divide by 0.
"47, the pool is always closed." What?
The original 47 is you'll never have sex.
Okay.
Yeah. And rule 44, to the topic we were talking about, /B sucks today. But that's because /B sucks every day.
Hmm.
It's the random board. Like, you have no idea what's going to show up on it. And it's always going to be, like, cringy as fuck.
So we have no tabletop game to talk about today.
Nope, because we didn't run it. I kind of regret it. Mostly because from the return trip at all, like, just because of that alone, I kind of regret my entire trip up there.
Oh.
Yeah, the first day, the way up was fine. Great. We had a good drive. We hit up a lot of Walmarts because my brother is really into flipping Pokemon cards and stuff like that. Like, he'll buy packs and he'll sell the valuable ones out of them. So we had to hit up a lot of them. And then we spent a day hanging out with, like, my grandfather, my dad, who's been up there with him, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I got to see, they aren't biologically related to me, but family's family. My cousin from my grandfather's second marriage, his children, all came over. And it was the way home that sucked. Mostly because of my mom. And I was telling you this before we started. For anybody at home, you know, like when you take a kid on a trip and they have a lot of energy before the trip because they have their normal sleep schedule, their normal life, and kids are just very energetic. But then about like a few days into the trip, the kid does not have the energy from their normal schedule. They get cranky. They start throwing tantrums and fits. The littlest thing will set them off. That was my mother on the return trip. She was feeling great the first day, you know, but she is elderly. She takes a lot of medicine to be able to just exist. And she kind of has to work into a schedule because her clock is already messed up as is. She doesn't have like a very regular life aside from when she should take her pills.
Yeah.
And just the whole car ride back was fighting. We had an elderly dog with us we had to take care of, stopping every other hour so the dog could use the restroom. The dog threw up at one point on my mom while she was in the back seat, which made things worse. It was just a horrible trip back. So, yeah, 0 out of 10 would not do again. Now, if it was like just me and my brother heading up, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But because, you know, it was Easter weekend. I know you weren't available for the podcast. That's the initial reason why I was thinking about canceling things. Because you had told me ahead of time you wouldn't be available. And I was like, either we could do it early. Maybe I could get somebody else to come on instead just to fill in for the week. And then after other people started saying things like, oh, well, I won't be there for the RPG because of Easter stuff with the family. I was just like, okay, let's just cancel the whole weekend. That would give me an excuse to run out with my family. I was originally going to cancel on them because I have shows to run. But I was like, whatever. So we'll be back in full motion this weekend. Everything will be back to normal for the most... Well, Travis won't be able to join us. For yeah. I won't be able to run things from here. I'll be, like I do occasionally, I'll be running it in that other room. Because he's going to have family over. So, yeah. For like 2 weeks.
Well, I had, my sister's birthday was on Saturday, day before Easter. So I went out that evening with her and her husband and my mom. I had a very nice dinner. I ate in a restaurant for the first time in over a year.
Oh, wow.
It was fun. And, you know, being Alabama, it was pretty laid back. Nobody, you know, they required you to wear a mask when you walked in the door, but like by the time you got to your table, it was just like, whatever. So
You know,
it was fun.
surprisingly, a very uptight state. Missouri.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't blame them. Compared to like the surrounding areas coming in and out of that state, they really maintain their roads. Like apparently they fancy themselves people of culture and civilization. But like say passing through Arkansas, almost nobody was wearing a mask in any of the gas stations. In southern Illinois, people really weren't uptight about things. The more north you got, it was like that for a while. But as you get back into the farmland, nobody was uptight. Missouri, though, they were just up their butts about everything.
Crazy.
Some people were even looking at me. Well, people were probably giving me weird looks everywhere because I was walking around in a dogi the entire time. I wasn't wearing a shirt. I was literally just wearing my gi.
Mhm.
And so I expect strange looks. But specifically, I got extra strange looks from the people in Missouri. And I think it's because instead of wearing a mask, I just had a bandana around my face.
Like you're gonna rob the place?
Yeah, or just like, I would see them also doing that to some other people. They're like really uptight about you actually wearing a mask. I don't know what's up with Missouri.
Strange. Yeah, like when I went into the restaurant, like at one point I went outside to have a cigarette. I just completely forgot. I didn't put on a mask or anything. Came back in, nobody said a word. And I like realized later, like, oh, I completely forgot to put a mask back on.
Yeah.
And like, nobody cared. Yeah. I've gone into gas stations here, no mask, nobody cares. That's great.
What I hate is here, it's inconsistent, right? It's not like on a whole, either people care or people don't. There's just too much of a variety of people here in Texas that some people just get pissy, and some people just outright don't care.
And I've gone into like grocery stores, and everybody, and I wear a mask in a grocery store. I have a feeling they'd probably ask you politely to either put one on or leave. But like in a gas station where you're just going in, paying, and leave, they don't care. So
well, it's usually not even the people running the place. It's the other customers that get pissy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And we're dead again.
We are dead. Come on, man. We only had a couple of minutes left. Yeah.
Misery is what I end up calling that place.
I do a lot. I call it misery a lot too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all situational because I feel like if you're going into Publix, obviously there's going to be a manager and everything, and they're going to have to follow the rules, and et cetera. But in a gas station, it's just an attendant. It's just some employee. They don't care.
Yeah, it also depends on the gas station, right? Like, is this like a smaller local gas station, or is this like a racetrack or a Quick Trip? Right?
Yeah, I'm talking
like
about
that'll vary from place to place too.
Yeah.
I've noticed talking about big places, Buc-ee's doesn't give a shit. Like they have their sign on because they're required to. Well, they're kind of a Texas only place. Like you get it like on the way in and out. Because we're open, they might take it away. Because a lot of the places that, even in open states, that still have the mask thing are places that are like national. They keep the same policies no matter where you are. Buc-ee's might have taken it off by now. We did stop in Buc-ee's. I was surprised. But like you walk in there, the last time I was in, nobody was wearing a mask and nobody was being berated about it. And this was back before Texas opened up.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't give a fuck. I love Buc-ee's.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we can't get into it right now because we're running up on the end.
Yeah,
but
we're
like,
right at the end.
If they had just done it, if like the whole nation had just done it like this, like the way Alabama is right now,
yeah,
it would have been so much nicer if it had just been like, we kind of recommend it. Like, we'll put a sign up and just say, please do it. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. Then like people would do it.
Yeah.
But
well, like Japan didn't have any mandates. The what's his name? Abe, right? Everybody here in the States, they just call him Abe because they don't know you're supposed to pronounce the syllables differently. But Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan. He just came up on the network and he asked everybody politely, like, hey, for everyone's sake, just wear a mask and social distance, like stay at home if you can. And everybody did because Japan's such a nice place, you know. They didn't have to do a mandate or anything.
Yeah. And if you don't want to, all right.
Yeah.
It's your choice. Free country. So, whatever. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know my area specifically, just as a final wrap-up point. I am right on the border between where the rural area is and where the city is. So I think that's also why you get such a wide variety of personalities when it comes to this stuff. Because the more rural people, they don't give a shit, like whatsoever, you know. But the more city-like people get, the more hissy and stick up the butt people become.
Yeah. Oh, I got yelled at by a customer, of course, when I was working at Walmart over the summer. And I don't remember exactly, but I think I was wearing a mask, but like I coughed.
No, yeah.
Some customer yelled.
You're not even allowed to cough in today's society anymore. Cough or sneeze, they see it as like a death sentence.
But yeah, nobody ever, my manager never yelled at me or anything like that. It was just customer.
So, yeah. And on average, customers are the most self-entitled people in the world. Well, customers at like big stores, right? And that's where most people go. I've never had a problem in a mom and pop shop, even with like normal customers, because everybody who goes to them are like regulars, you know? Nobody's going to throw a fit at somebody they see every day.
Yeah, exactly, because they're going to know who, like, oh, I remember you. You're the one who like yelled at me.
Put your picture up. This person's not allowed in here anymore.
Yeah. But some anonymous asshole in Walmart. Who cares?
Yeah.
And honestly, I never saw that guy ever again. Probably for as long as I live, I will never see him.
He might even not have lived there. It could have just been a pass through, you know? You get that a lot at those stores.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I guess it's time to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could
welcome back.
Be back on a good our schedule again. And we'll catch you guys on the next Vomitorium. As always, if you appreciate the show, be sure to share it with somebody else you think would like it. Upvote it or whatever, wherever you are. Whatever they let you do. Favorite it. I don't care. And also follow us. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you do follow us. And you're actually seeing this in whatever your notifications or sub boxes are. But if you're here for the first time...
Are we close to being able to do the affiliate thing on Twitch?
I have no idea.
You should look at it.
Yeah. Like, I won't do affiliate on my own channel, but I'd totally do it for the Vomitorium. I don't give a shit. I don't even care if we get banned on Twitch, so... yeah. And if you want to support, you should know all the donation stuff. You can do it straight to my PayPal. I do have a Subscribe Star set up. I still need to set up my bank to mines, but just, you know, I'mInTheMiddle@gmail.com is the address, and you can always just throw a buck or two, whatever you want. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
time, it might be my best, but I won't try. Well, another day, sunset.